3, 2, 1. You are live. ARMTV's live call-in show with Uncle John.
What's up?
What's up, man?
I'm doing well, Gary. I'm doing quite well. I just gotta. I'm doing really good.
You were gonna ask me something I didn't want to talk about. What were you gonna ask me?
So I was just gonna mention, and I wanted to see what everybody else thinks in the chat about your recent, spiciness, your recent kind of acquisition of standing up to the man, Travis Bagent. You've been taking no shit from him lately, and I like it.
I don't know if it was by design. Yeah, it just sort of has happened naturally. And coming in, there's a little intimidation factor, but it's like, okay, I know I can do this. You're like he keeps saying he's the star. It's like,
of course,
you are the star, but I sort of look at it like, who said the yin and the yang? Oh, Jody Williams said the yin and yang.
Yeah.
Like Travis shines when he has somebody to push off of a little bit. And
right.
So in the beginning, someone was saying I was kissing his ass a little bit more. Anyways, we've been frictioned a little bit lately. And you said, oh, do you talk about it?
Yeah. Do you guys after the show, do you be like, hey man, I know I'm just gonna stand up to you a little bit more now. Is that cool with you? Do you guys talk at all?
Dude, I swear to you, this is the true story. It is Jason. I see you over there. We're just doing a little intro before we bring in extra peeps. So we're up to 61, 63 episodes.
63. Jeez.
So I don't know. We started out, we did 30, 40 something. They were half an hour to 40 minutes.
Yeah.
And now we've gone over with the hours as we've gone live. So let's just say there's 30 hours.
Yeah.
Travis and I have spoken on the phone outside of the show. Maybe 10 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe it.
So we chat a little bit. We definitely don't talk. The one time, I think after the last one, I texted him, I was like, I went hard on you. Like, was that cool? And he's like, fine.
Yeah, no he's problem. Like, what? Yeah.
Yeah, because I was like, I don't. And now, I don't know if he's joking with those whole you can't arm wrestle Barry Bourne.
Box him, you mean?
You can't box him. I don't know if he's saying that just to get me riled up. But he must understand, I have to do this. My credibility is on the line. I'm going to do everything I can now to follow through on what I said.
Right.
I mean, it's not a setup. I probably should mess him and be like, yo, are you really telling Barry Bourne not to fight me? Because So to sum up the scenario here, what you hear on the show, what you see is what I see. we do not. I mean, all he's told me is I love you no matter what. Don't worry about it.
Right. So I guess it's just a matter of how long will Travis Bagent, continue to be interested enough to be Travis Bagent.
Yeah. Like he said, I'm killing it. I have no idea if he's killing it. Our relationship is this. I put content on his channel every other week. And now he's flexing. He's like, oh, put it all on my channel. Dude, you're smoking. Do you understand it takes time to set all this shit up? I'm the one that does the research. I'm the one that messaged him to be like, oh, that's the most communication that I have with him. I send him a video. I say, watch this. If it's a long video, I actually research it. So if I send him a 20-minute video, I say, watch, 18 minutes to 23 minutes. I try to dumb it down like he's a kindergartner. He's not Uncle John. He's not going to go do his research and know.
Right. Yeah.
If it were him, it'd be Travis time all the time. We just talk about
the essence of the talent.
Yeah.
Right? You are hiring him. You are using him for something extremely specific. And the minute you walk outside of that, the problems are going to start to happen.
Yeah. It's like, bro, I really see a lane for you where you could do the other shit, but you actually have to do it. Like you
Right.
have to care about what's going on in the outside of the worlds and everything. Luckily, for his minimal research, he's pretty damn good for what he spits out.
Oh, yeah,
with the
absolutely he is.
So imagine what the dude would do if he actually did the homework. Oh my God. Anyways, I asked you earlier. Oh, you were telling me you got a super match set up?
I got 2 super matches next Tuesday. It's going to be great. My first time I'm pulling since November, I think. I got a right-handed super match and a left-handed super match. And both of them are guys that are going to outweigh me. One outweighs me by probably 60 or 70 pounds. The other guy has probably got 15 or 20 pounds on me. And they're both guys that are top dudes on the East Coast. So I'm significantly nervous because the last time I pulled, I was 50 pounds heavier than I am now. So
what?
I was 255 the last time I arm wrestled. And now I'm like I was 207 on Monday.
You haven't arm wrestled? Oh, speaking of sponsors, NatFit. Oh, Adam.
I haven't pulled competitively since November. I have practiced.
That's amazing. That's like you're gonna feel way faster.
Well, when I stand at the table, it's a completely different.
Oh, he's getting undressed. Oh shit! Oh shit! It's
well, Mike's Madness has bestowed upon us a 199 super chat, and he says throws the guns up. So I mean, they are like they're not there yet, but they're better than they were. You know, they're getting there slowly. Once I'm at like 185, then I think I'll be playing with fire.
So you said a word that you're gonna do to these super match guys.
Raffle stomp. Raffle stomp. Is that a thing that people say, or did I just pick that up from some TV show, or what?
Did you make that up? I've never heard this word, raffle stomp.
ROFL is just rolling on the floor laughing from like 8th grade, whatever. And then stomp is I'm laughing so hard because you're so weak that I'm going to just stomp you and laugh on the floor while I do it.
I like raffle stomp. That sounds cool. Hey, your competitors, he just said he's going to raffle stomp you. Are you going to let that happen? Welcome to the show, Mr. Jason Merlo.
What's up, Gary?
What's happening, bro? Since you put a little light on your face, it looks much better. Thank you very much for stepping up your game. Okay. I got something to ask you guys.
Yeah.
So I just posted a clip of Travis Bagent versus Devin Larratt, right-handed Arm Wars 2008. And I guess all of you guys have seen this. Has 250,000 views on Scott McGinnis's channel, Arm Sport Videos. But we have something different. We've provided some behind the scenes that has more context, which just makes it a must-watch video. So go watch it, even though you've seen it. Go watch it again. But my question to you guys is, I want you to watch it at some point. I want to come back. It is the most awful arm wrestling you guys have ever seen regarding like ref arm wrestler relationship. Like, I don't know if they actually had more than like 3 or 4 matches. They didn't arm wrestle for more than like 20 seconds combined. The guy wouldn't do the set grip. He was getting way involved in the match. And it was like, if you had like 50K on the line, every time I've seen big money on the line, what I'm getting at is it seems like the ref is involved no matter what. It's so heated. And it's like,
yeah, but that's Travis and Devin's fault.
Right.
That's why the ref is involved, is because they're awful.
Yes.
They're both terrible.
So that's what I'm wondering. As a guy like me who's just watching, it's not, this is just those guys. This is not what happens when like big shit is happening.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I think it still does happen, but I think it's the puller's responsibility partly to like, I mean, enough is enough at some point. And it's like, you both of you know that you're causing a problem to the match. Like, you got to give and you have to like, oh, you know what I mean?
I've got two perspectives. Number one, I agree with Jason. At some point, there's got to be, you know, the point where you just kind of get into it. But the referees in general get far too emotionally involved in a lot of matches. Yes. They're really like, if the guy is hot, if the competitor is hot at the referee just needs to be as cool as a cucumber. You know who does that well? A guy like Rick Pinkney. Rick Pinkney is a world level referee. Just never, you can't ruffle that guy's feathers for nothing. But a lot of times you go and these refs are going to be like, they're, you know, red in the face because they're so involved. And that's bad refereeing, if you ask me.
And a lot of times the referees talk too much to each guy. Like, you can't have that type of interaction. Once you do, then the puller knows he's going to get to the referee, and it's all over. It's all over from there.
Oh, that's a good point. That's a good point. So if you're teaching a master class to the ref, I was on the show with Jody Williams today. I was on Arm Talk. And then I went to the comments, and Denise Waddle, she was like, hey, man, if you keep doing this, you know, who's your refs? Like, and it's like, I get it. I don't give really the refs a ton of thought. They're always like I got to hire a qualified ref. I got you. Not everyone can do this. Can ref a Travis and Devin.
No,
God. You gotta have like
people. There's like 2 or 3 people that are really qualified to do that.
So anyways, if you're in the chat, go over the watch that. I know you've already seen it, but that has some context behind the scenes. It's just bananas. It's just crazy. But at the end of the day, I'm watching it. I have to ask the honest question. Who won that day? Devin won. But after I watched the video, does it look like Travis would have won if he got the set grip? I'm not. That's what Travis.
I'd like to watch your video to get a second view at it.
So, like when we were talking about, you know, is what happens at Arm Wars definitive of like a world rankings? If I watched that video, I would be like, I need a do-over before I'm gonna multiply the rankings here, because this is too important to declare a win. I mean, I love both of them, but I go watch it, come back at some point. Let's talk about this, because it's really an educational thing. Because like, if I'm a content provider and I want television content or YouTube content, I guess the average person is not going to want to watch that unless it's highly edited. Like now, the clip I edited, it's watchable. But the real life stuff, it's unwatchable.
Right.
Unwatchable.
I remember watching like the less edited versions of that. And I mean, it just drags on. It's kind of, you know, it's like the same story every match, where it's just like, you know, you want to see the guys pull. And like I said, from my point of view, it's like, Jesus Christ, you guys got to like, there's a certain responsibility where enough is enough.
Yeah. So I'm curious to be educated on that. And like, yeah, so you're saying only 2 refs in the world or 3 can handle that?
Well, it might be more than that, but like really, truly, like a lot of top level referees are going to get eaten up by those 2 guys, eaten alive, and they won't want to admit it to themselves, but they will get destroyed by them.
Yeah.
But you need someone who is completely flatlined, like a hostage negotiator style.
Yeah. I like the idea of, I don't know. Because I'm out of it. Corey West, shout out. You're in the chat. You need to come in the show tonight.
Corey West.
I have you felt Michael Todd before he went to Dubai. I'm sure you felt him after he went to Dubai. I would just want a 1-for-1 comparison. Like, what do you notice? So come on, give us some perspective. Like a guy like, so I watched that match with Ron Bath and Devin Larratt in My Gold Classic. Yep. Keith Michelle is so handsy. He's like, so that match has gone kind of viral. It's not like major viral, but it's viral for us. And there are some people who are clicking on it and they're new and they're like, I don't understand what's going on. And the first thing they say is, what the F is that ref doing? He's like all up in there, like molesting the competitors. Like, I don't know, man. Like, because they're trying to create make sure there's no shoulder contact, the ref is like, get it in the blah, 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 blah. And it's like,
This is the same issue we run into when we have referees who are like, watch your elbow, watch your elbow. What the hell are you telling him to watch his elbow for? That is not in any rule book ever.
That bothers me.
Minimally intrusive, minimal intrusion, get that match started and get the hell out of there.
Yeah.
Period.
I've even come across refs, not just the watch the elbow, but they'll touch your elbow.
Yeah.
They'll touch your, like, I don't want that. That's no, I don't want that.
Don't touch my elbow. Okay, so we're gonna have to transition because I'm gonna let you guys know go. But there's so much you could talk about. You could talk about more about the RVJ big match.
Yeah.
You could talk. Derek Smith should be landing in
there. I saw
should be landing in Dubai any minute. Michael Todd's home from Dubai. I mean, so much. The over the top too. You said. I've been told Barry Bourne and I are completely destroying the chances
ruining everything.
We are no longer getting into the Olympics. Man, here's my thoughts on this. Okay, this is just my personal opinion, as if we were homies. Everyone who's saying I'm ruining arm wrestling, you are the people that are not invited to my after party. Because you're the same person who says, don't have fun, don't drink, don't turn up the music, you know. So I do not mind that you've segregated yourself from when I get big money and I'm putting on cool tournaments, we're going to have great after parties. And you've helped let me know who's not invited to the after party because you're going to be negative Nanny up in there. Corey.
What's up?
What's up, man? So obviously you're an important guy, but before I get off here, I just want to know, you felt Michael Todd before he left and you felt him when he came back. What did you notice? Just
I mean, Michael, they didn't do a lot of arm wrestling training while he was there, he said.
Nobody worked out.
Yeah, I mean, but I mean, he's
stronger.
Still felt, yeah, maybe. I mean, it's hard to say. I didn't train for a couple months. I mean, he still feels like the guy. I mean, he's still, you know.
I just wondered if it felt like a different guy, because he went over there. I'm kind of like going to do some, you know, Larry Wheels training, and I was wondering, was it just for fun, or did he actually learn something about his own training to up his own game, or the different style of training that he was doing? I was just curious if you saw an actual.
I'm sure there will be some benefits as far as strength. I don't know if it'll relate to the table, but I'm sure it will. He, you know, he's been doing it 30 years though, so I mean, he's kind of got it figured out. I think. I don't know if being good at pressing a log overhead is going to do a lot for that.
Okay, hey John Thompson, you're in charge. There's 4 guys in the waiting room.
My host now.
You decide who comes on.
All right.
Guys, as always, I want to kind of stay on because I'm actually annoyed with my wife a little bit. And I was like, maybe I should punish her by reducing family time.
That's a great idea. It's a great, that long term, that is the best thing you can
do. Excellent.
Stay online a little bit. Like, I'm a little bit annoyed. So
Gary, I think you're giving yourself way too much value. She may enjoy that a little bit.
That's a strong point there, sir. Okay, Corey, is there any topics you think are the hot topics of the week?
Jerome Loud, probably.
Ooh, Jerome. We do got to talk about Jerome. Holy smoke.
Who's Jerome?
You want to talk him up there, Corey?
He gave Dan his first loss in a couple of years, right?
Oh! I saw that. The guy who beat in Alabama State. Yeah. I wasn't sure his name, so he's badass dude.
I mean, there's a little bit of a weight difference there, but like Dan Mosier's Dan Mosier, right?
Yeah.
Jason, what's your hot topic of the week?
Yeah, just to go off that Jerome Loud, I pulled him at WL prelim. I don't even remember when it was at this point. I think it was summer of 2019. Jerome.
I was at that.
Yes, that's correct. Right. Yeah. Jerome is a bad dude, man. his hand. So he's a 220 guy, 225 guy. His hand is just massive. I want to say it's larger than RVJ's hand. Yeah, the way to go through Jerome is not through his fingers. He is, but he's strong everywhere. I think with the presence of Jerome Loud on the field, he needs to get shots at a lot more people and get out there more. He's a very undercover dude.
What about the dude that beat Craig Touye?
I don't know if I saw that one.
I think he beat Craig in a super match at 198.
Wow.
I've never heard of the guy.
All right. Hey, I got to interject. Guys, I'm going to cut out. I forgot to mention Adam from Western Survivor. Oh, don't be mad that we're talking about Western. I know you're a Primal guy. I know you're a Primal guy, but Western Survivor is our sponsor.
It's dueling jerkies.
Western Survivor, Adam, because of the weather, my beef jerky is somewhere on a truck, somewhere between Canada and here. Anyways, March 1st, they're giving away another table. That raffle thing came off. Oh, but guess what? Do you remember we did the live New Year's Eve?
How could I forget?
So we sent Derek is over there, right? Success. But today I came up for it's going to be completely different, has nothing to do with fundraising. But the next time I go live until I accomplish something, it could break shit. It could. You think getting us knocked out of the Olympics by boxing Barry Bourne is crazy. You wait till I go live. And I haven't told anybody this, but I'm possibly working on something that will break the internet. And the great thing is that I have proven that I won't go to bed until I accomplish the mission. This next one ups the game a little bit. And people are going to be like, oh shit. Now I believe he's going to not go to bed until this happens. So anyways, stay posted for something big. This way it comes. Okay, guys, remember, everyone in the chat, if you super chat, it goes to Uncle John, at least the 70%, because YouTube takes their hitman cut, the mafia, the YouTube mafia also. And I'll be back. Thank you very much.
Beautiful. Thanks, Gary.
Uncle John. So actually, Jonathan Breida said it was Robbie Russell. Yeah, so I've heard of Robbie Russell, and Jeff Frank actually wanted to set me up with Robbie. I thought that would have been good. But obviously TAL got postponed. But yeah, Robbie Russell, crazy strong. I know he pulls with Ron Bath. And Breida had a great match with Ron too. Left-handed. That was an excellent match watching that. But yeah, Robbie Russell, super impressive.
They said I was told, I didn't see it, but I was told that Robbie Russell top rolled Jerome Loud in the overalls and beat him.
So I didn't see that.
Well. I heard that as well.
Yeah,
it was the overalls, but it is what it is. First, though, I do have to say one more thing about Western Survivor beef jerky, because I got this a couple weeks ago and I couldn't eat any of it because I've been on this diet, but I hit 208. So this is my first try. Now, you're just supposed to get it in your cheek. I'll give you some updates as we go. I'll give you updates.
Oh, man. So, yeah, Robbie Russell, that was good stuff watching that. I think I also remember seeing that Craig actually fouled out and Robbie said, screw that, let's pull again. And then Robbie ended up beating Craig after that.
Yeah, he looked. I clicked on the live and seen a little bit of one of the matches. He looked strong. I mean, it looked good.
Like I know him from before. Like I don't know him, but I've seen him pull before, and he's a legit strong dude. Apparently, really legit. Jace with the $5 super chat says Robbie is strong. Jonathan Breida says true. It was right after Mosier, so it must have been Jerome beat Mosier, and then Robbie beat Jerome right after that, I guess.
Yeah, and then I believe Wayne Withers ended up pulling him maybe and
right, because he was in the
won the
Masters class. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a little interesting, but yeah, that's cool.
That's awesome. A lot of talent. A lot of talent there.
Really, really fun tournament. I watched a really good. There was actually like 2 or 3 tournaments that were being live streamed, like on Saturday. It was a good day. I watched a lot. I watched a lot of arm wrestling that day. I think there was one in maybe it was Pennsylvania too. Tim Lewis was running it, I think, and that was
yes, yeah.
There was a lot of stuff going on at that one too. A couple good super matches. So good stuff.
Yeah.
Now, still nothing going on around here really, other than the random super match here and there, but more power to you.
Yeah. So I have a training partner again. I don't know if y'all know that.
Yeah, I talked to Michael the other day with Cobra. It was great.
Yeah. I gotta go back and watch that. Yeah.
So how is it? Are you getting back in the groove now? And how's your arm now?
I got 2.5 more weeks before I can start training the left. I've been doing some light like benching and stuff like that, just going through the range of motion, generally with about 30% of load.
Okay.
And I mean, we pulled around right-handed a couple days ago, and when I was fresh, I mean, I probably didn't lose a whole lot, even though I hadn't trained in a couple months. But my muscular endurance was really bad. Like after getting opened up a couple times, it was gone.
Right. We got a couple super chats from Aaron Yearsley, a couple $5 pops. He says, "What's up, guys? How you doing, Aaron? Good to hear from you. Glad you guys are all here." We got 79 in the chat. By the way, for those of you just joining us, I'm Uncle John from Uncle John's Arm Wrestling Show. We've got Jason Merlot here. You've got a channel now. I've seen some more content going up on your page, huh?
Yeah, I'm trying to commit to it. Little short clips with stuff that comes to mind.
Yep.
We'll just see. We'll see what happens with that.
What's your channel called? Is it just Jason Merlot?
Jason Merlot so far.
There you go. And then, of course, you can find Corey West on the Monster Michael Todd YouTube channel all the time.
Yeah. You need to, Jason. You need to put some of those fishing trips on there.
Yeah, so that's a little bit. I'm planning on mixing a little bit of the fishing and arm wrestling stuff together as well. Yeah, I'm gonna show you guys a little bit more fishing, get you some insights into there, and tell you a lot about bass curls. That's what
I used to be. I used to be addicted to wicked tuna. I was addicted.
I still watch him. Dave Marciano, he actually comes down to our marina every now and then. He knows a few guys down our marina. So yeah, from hard merchandise.
Nice.
Very cool.
So tonight, guys, so go ahead, Corey.
Are you still training with Marcio all the time?
Yeah, I mean, Marcio has been on and off a bit, and the team in general has been a little on and off because a lot less interest with the COVID and all that stuff. But yeah, we're definitely sticking strong. That's not gonna stop. That's for sure.
Nice.
Yeah. So, it's interesting whenever you have somebody like that. Like I would put Marcio in the same category as Michael I mean, he mentored you pretty much, correct?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's like if you can withstand the pressure of having to, like try to exceed their expectations, it does something different to you.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And, that one of the first times I started training with the team way back when, late 2015, when I first met Marcio, that was always the thing too. I was just like, why would you pass up this opportunity to do anything else? I mean, this is the person at practice that you want to absorb the most from, obviously. And this is the person you want to pull the most at practice. It's such a huge opportunity, and it's always super appreciated. Like it's just amazing just being able to get that opportunity to do that, because a lot of people don't get that.
Right.
It does seem beneficial though. A lot of people that do get it end up doing, I mean, I don't know how long Storm Chelino had been in it before Paul in, but I mean, similar effect.
Absolutely. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So yeah, I'll never stop using that opportunity to be be tied at the hip there,
Yeah.
All right. So we had another super chat from Aaron Yearsley. He says, "By the way, I cannot beat the Chocolate Thunder. Just putting that out there. Aaron, did you come back to arm wrestling and already start talking shit to people? Is that what's going on here? I don't hear the full story, but I think there was a practice and then there was some videos taken. I don't know the whole story, but maybe we'll get to the bottom of that. But
Jody
tonight, guys,
he had a little live video about that.
that always gets you in trouble, Aaron. That gets you in trouble. So I got a couple topics at least tonight. One, there has been a large increase in new arm wrestling YouTube channels, specifically two of the big guys that just jumped on. Marcio is starting to post a lot more, and RVJ is starting to post a lot more as well. So I want to talk about that. I want to talk about the realities of Gary Roberts versus Barry Bourne. A lot of people losing their minds that this is ruining arm wrestling and it shouldn't happen. And other people are just concerned for Gary's overall health. So maybe we can talk about that a little bit. And then the last thing I kind of wanted to talk about, Over the Top 2 Australian Boogaloo, because that's coming up in November. And my fingers are crossed that the COVID restrictions are gone so I can make it over there. Because it sounds like it's going to be pretty cool. So again, anybody in the chat, you got 87 people. If you want to come on and talk a little arm wrestling with us, feel free. The link is in the description into the Zoom chat. But please make sure you have a point or a question or something to add to the conversation. That is part of our social agreement that we are coming up with here. So, gentlemen, the Olympic dream of arm wrestling, I heard this week, was ruined because Gary Roberts is going to box Barry Bourne. Is it true that arm wrestling will never get in the Olympics because of this boxing match?
No, I mean, come on. That's so ridiculous. That's so ridiculous. I mean, it hasn't. I don't know why people are still worried about that.
Right.
I really don't. Just worry about the sport growing and on the trajectory that it's going at right now. Just worry about that. Why is everybody worried about the Olympics? I don't know why. Well,
it's been, the Olympics have been knocking on our door since the late 70s probably, and that carrot has been dangled so many times. And so I understand, I guess, especially if it's new people, they don't know the history, they don't know the realities of it. If we were going to do it, it would have to go through WAF. Currently, arm wrestling is completely split between WAF and IFA, and people hate these guys and love these guys. But now Igor is tied to IFA, sort of, and people now hate Igor too. So it's even more of an issue.
Yeah, I mean, the Olympic thing, like, I feel like that's a completely whole separate thing from the whole Barry Bourne thing, which is, it is what it is. But I think it's just funny, the whole bickering back and forth between it all. And I think Gary's actually upset that he's thinking he might not actually get the shot, because Travis is very adamant that he's not getting the shot.
Oh, no, I wasn't listening. No, listen, I'm boxing Barry Bourne. If Barry Bourne don't show up in the parking lot, then I win. I can't lose this. I can't lose this regardless. But I just wanted to throw a topic on the table while I had Corey. Corey West.
What's up?
Okay, so I was talking to Jody Williams. You came and you did the Texas State champion. You did the one single elimination, 30 guys down to one bracket, and you won. How many matches did you arm wrestle?
I don't know, less than 10 probably.
I think it was less than that. Yeah. So my question is, if we did the ROTN format, do you know what that is? Have you been listening?
Is that the best two out of 3 out of each match?
No, it's basically King of the Hill. Heaviest to lightest, and you got to win. At that would have been 30 something guys. You would have had to win 40 matches. Am I going to get in trouble, Uncle John, if I say that if we did our format, I'm not exactly sure if Corey would have pulled it out.
Are you coming on here with all this extra noise, Evan?
Evan,
Get out of here with that noise.
Mute that guy. So just Uncle John, I want to know, Uncle John, mute Evan if you don't get that shit fixed. Uncle John.
I can't even mute him right now.
Your pick, does Corey West win the formats if it was
Who's there competing with him?
the exact one? There was that Lawrence Grundy. There was a couple good, really good 200-pound guys.
Give me two more names.
Dude, I don't know the list. There were a bunch.
There was Ron Sitton, Lawrence Grundy. There wasn't enough.
Yeah.
There wasn't enough.
If you had to go, if they arm wrestled, you were at the top and they arm wrestled, you had to arm wrestle everyone back to back to back to back to the lightest guy and then go around again. You can do that?
On that day, I think I could.
Okay.
With that group, yeah.
With that group. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I was
but
curious.
all it would take is like 2 or 3 more 200+ pound guys that are in the mix, and it wouldn't happen.
Okay. Because that's what I was wondering. Like, Jody asked me, like, okay, so he kind of liked the single elimination one. And then I was like, well, would it have been a different outcome? I was just curious because I don't really feel like you were tested that day.
No, that wasn't. There were only a handful of guys, and they were,
yeah,
nothing against anybody. It was just.
So
if you get the right guys, then if you got like, maybe if it was Corey and then there was like a Dawn Underwood and then there was, person ABC, and they're all like kind of in the same continuum, then you might have something.
Yeah, but I was more talking about that exact group.
Yeah.
Corey would have been tested more than the single elimination.
Oh, it would have been more for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much. I was just curious about that. Evan, learn how to turn off your audio, man. Come on. Okay. See you guys.
I've actually got to run also.
All right, Corey.
I'm a little busy.
Thanks for stopping by, buddy.
Jumping on.
I'll keep watching though. We'll see y'all.
Take care, Corey.
So was all that bullshit happening where you could hear all the show as soon as I got on?
Yeah, there was something coming through. Yeah.
And I have no idea. I closed everything else completely and I couldn't hear anything.
Weird.
Oh, this is fun.
This is why I don't do my own shit. This right here. This is why I don't do it.
Now I can't put Gary back in the stupid. Oh my God, I hate this. Go back.
Yeah. See,
All right.
this
The
shit.
studio looks cool. It's all right.
It's not just me.
So, so Evan Burgoyne, welcome to the show. Happy to have you here. I know that you've been, at the very least, a little bit vocal about this shindig with Gary Roberts and Barry Bourne. Before we get there, let me tend to some super chats here. We got a couple more from Aaron Yearsley. Thank you very much, Aaron. He's talking about. I guess people are mad about the video he made. He says, yes, there was a video. I should not have said what I did, but it got blown way out of context. So he apologizes. Well, I'm sure Jody's a good guy. I'm sure you can come around with that. That's all good. Thank you for the super chats, Aaron. Appreciate it. So Barry Bourne, Gary Roberts, the apocalyptic end to arm wrestling as we know it. This will ruin everything. But it might be fun. Might be worth 5-ish minutes of entertainment.
I think Travis is being for real though. I don't know. For some reason, I feel like Travis may have gotten scared in legal terms or something like that from the last match or something, and now he's legit probably worried.
Could have.
That's what it seems like.
Did you watch the last fight?
And they're like,
Yeah.
no, we're good.
Unfortunately.
So where could you possibly end up getting in trouble? You can't get in trouble unless someone gets hurt.
I don't know. I just see that Travis is very adamant, whether he's joking or not. He's adamant that Gary is not fighting Barry.
As long as Gary has gloves on and nobody's going to get scratched in the eye or something, there's nobody going to get hurt in this fight.
Well, that's
I
not
agree.
great. Are those two capable of actually hitting one another in the face with a punch?
Not well.
I mean,
Barry throws like a decently weighted left hook. or right hook, sorry, is a southpaw.
Yeah.
And that's it. His jab, his straights, it's everything else is absolute shit. But he does throw some weight on that hook. Just there's no way he's ever going to hit somebody with that unless they're standing there not looking. It'd be a great sucker punch when you're drunk at a bar.
Oh yeah.
But it's not going to hit somebody standing in front of you expecting you to swing.
Right.
And if it does, Gary's fucked if it does.
Well, this is the thing, you know, Gary Roberts has, you know, a background of CrossFit, which doesn't teach you anything about being in a fight, but it does mean that he may have some kind of constitution built up somewhere deep down inside of him. And he has been, I've seen it. I've seen Gary go full dog mode, you know, and when he does that, he does conjure up some weird powers. So
he's tried to claw his own eyes out of an arm wrestling match.
Yeah.
In a fist fight, I imagine he's going to do the same shit. Am I the only person that picks Gary to win this?
Does anybody pick Gary to win it?
I do.
I wouldn't be surprised. I just
5 1-minute rounds. My money's on Gary.
Yeah.
It's very well. What we saw from Barry was almost nothing last
Right.
time.
So that's 3 45-second rounds.
Yeah.
And
But
he threw
do you
maybe
think-
12, 15 punches the whole thing, and he could
I-
barely even lift his hands up anymore.
I
Gary
can
is not
also-
going to get tired that fast.
I
He's still going to get tired. Fighting is not easy on you,
Right.
and he'll be exhausted. But Gary's just as nuts as Barry, just in a different way.
I agree.
I got Gary Roberts for the win.
Yeah. I think we all do. Aaron Yearsley with another $5 super chat. This man is on fire tonight.
Wow.
How do I join you guys? Is that possible? So there is a link in the description. You can click on that link, and if you have Zoom enabled on your computer, you can get yourself in there, but you better mute your YouTube before you come on, or else it's going to be a whole big thing. It's going to be a whole big thing. And that goes for anybody else
Zoom
too.
tonight.
What's that?
I think the problem's with Zoom tonight.
It's
I didn't even have
possible.
YouTube open in my phone.
That's
I
weird.
I'm sitting in a waiting room and somehow it's playing through.
Ladies and gentlemen, the deck master himself, Roger Bailey Learned. Pop that mute there. There you go, buddy. How you doing, Roger?
I'm doing good, fellas. How y'all doing?
I'm doing well. Were you pulling this weekend? There was a bunch of tournaments. You must have been at one of them.
I was there. I was doing the live feed instead of pulling.
With the one that Tim Lewis was running?
Yes,
Nice. How was that? I saw there was some pretty good matches.
it was pretty good. Adam came from South Carolina.
Oh, yeah, Waruzinski. Is that what his
Yeah.
name?
He's
He's
bad.
good. He's a good puller.
He's pretty good. Yeah, it was a pretty good event. I'm kind of resting up for the ROTN and Waxahachie.
Yeah, we got about a month for that one then. So that'll be good.
So I'm gonna be fresh.
Nice. So what are your thoughts on Gary versus Barry? Are you going to watch? You're going to be there live to see it.
Of course. Yeah, I mean, I'm still at the toss-up to see if it's going to happen or not, because, you know, if Travis flexes on Gary, you know, Travis is pretty, I don't know, impending.
And I'm glad you pointed out that that friction. I'm glad I wasn't the only one that was seeing that, Uncle John.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. It
It's
was
definitely there. Like I'm worried like their time together is limited.
Well, Travis has stated multiple times now. He's like, I predict that this relationship will end in a ball of fire. You know, and I think he knows it because Travis has just, you know, it's not Travis's first burnt bridge. You know, if it ends up happening, it won't be the first, it won't be the last, I'm sure, for him. But I think the more important point for people to realize is that Gary versus Barry, as it relates to arm wrestling, is nothing. Is nothing. There is no connection. That people are overestimating the popularity and the relatability of arm wrestling with something that, you know, is just a goof, one-off goof type of deal. So yeah.
Yeah, I was in West Virginia when he fought Dave Morocco.
Oh, you were there too?
It wasn't impressive.
Oh,
Not at
yeah.
all.
It is what it is. So, you know, the more attention that it gets, the more likely we will see new ones. So if you are someone who doesn't like it, there's your answer.
They need to stop talking about it. That I don't understand how there's any negative consequences to two guys boxing at an arm wrestling event. If you don't want to see it, don't fucking watch it.
We're in a new world, man.
The more you talk about it, the more other people are going to respond to it. It's just creating more buzz about it. Now everybody else is going to want to see it too. Yeah. If you don't want to see it, just shut up.
Yeah.
Don't watch.
There you go. So I think that's pretty much the long and short of it. We will, at the very least, we will see Gary Roberts probably rolling around in the parking lot by himself, growling like a dog. That at the very least, we will get that. So, that's not bad either. That's
I got one better than that. I got my family. Unfortunately, I grew up in a trailer park in Dallas, so I got family that would host that fight in a heartbeat.
Oh my God.
Awesome. So we'll see what happens there. We got a month. A month in arm wrestling time is like a million years. So I'm sure it'll get canceled and then put back on and then changed to a different format at least 3 times before we get there. So my only regret is that I will not be able to be there to see it live. Otherwise, I would be. So I think that about cuts that one to where we need it to be. What about over the top 2? This is the other kind of big thing that came up over the weekend. So for those of you who don't know, the I don't know what it's called, the Australian Arm Wrestling Association, something Federation.
Yeah.
They had a live stream with Phil Rasmussen, who's their head dude, who I think Phil Rasmussen is going to be on Ryan Espy's show on Thursday, maybe. Ryan's in the chat. He can clarify that. And basically what they're doing is they're putting on a huge event in November that is going to mimic the original Over the Top as closely as they can get. I've heard they are going as far as building replica arm wrestling tables to match what they had originally. They're going to have Devin there, hopefully, Brezink. They're going to try to get Alan Fisher. I would assume they're going to try to get Cobra Rhodes. And there's an overall class that's paying out 10 grand to the winner and paying decent money to top 5. So if restrictions are up, I could see a lot of people hitting that. Otherwise, just gonna be a bunch of Australians who get all the money, and that doesn't really sound very fun.
Yeah, that wouldn't be fun.
Is that something that any of you guys are like interested in, or is it just like, meh, whatever?
If it's arm wrestling, I'm interested.
Yeah.
I want to watch everybody. I don't care if I know them or not. I still want to see the matches.
But would you go? Would you go pull?
Well, it's got to get it. There's a lot of moving parts in that one. Would I? I'd love to.
Yeah.
Will I? Highly unlikely, even if everything opens up. Just
right.
Yeah, I'm not much of a travel guy, especially all the way to Australia. There's way too many bugs that can kill you in Australia. I'm not too enthused about that. But in terms of watching the whole thing, I want to see what happens, and I really want to see the tables. I really want to see the tables built.
I just want to know who the fuck wants to take a 20-hour flight and then go get paired up with like Devin and then Mike 1-2. Well, that's a fucking fun day. Glad I took that flight. Let's fly home.
Ryan Espy has a good point too. He says, if I won it all in Australia, the trip will only have costed me a few grand. Right. So you if you win the 10 grand, you're probably going to still pay 12 or 13 grand to get over there and stay and, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
But we'll see what it brings. If I can go, if restrictions are lifted, I'm going to do whatever I can to go, mainly because it's just a huge amount of content that I could get. So I could get something else out of that. It doesn't really matter. I have no illusions of winning the overall tournament at something this huge, but yeah, that's interesting. I guess the big thing for me is just the wish that there was something closer here that was relatable to that we could actually be looking forward to. Right.
Of course.
Canadian nationals I really don't think that's happening at this point. Worlds, if they do happen, like who's really going to be there? Is it going to be another year of asterisks next to world champion names? That's the big thing. There just isn't a lot going on. Is that how you feel, Roger, even though you still pull at a tournament like every single weekend?
I mean, pretty much. I got to take the risk, and if I get quarantined, if my job makes me quarantine, I mean, 2 weeks of no pay, it kind of sucks. So I got to be like a spy in that aspect. So I got to go, off social media and do the stuff pretty much if I can.
Well, that's the most brutal part, right? Is especially if you're in Canada, you go to the States, I think it's 10-day quarantine. You come back, 14-day quarantine. So, it's basically a month in order to go. And that's why I can't go to Waxahachie, right? Is because, okay, I'm going to be there for 3 days. So it's 27 days that I have to be quarantined or gone. And it's just,
I think
our rules just got ridiculous here.
Yeah. Did you get not locked down again?
Everything is just ridiculous. If you were to come back from any country, whether driving or flying to Ontario, they take you from you have to get a test done there before coming back.
Right.
Then when you get here, and it's got to be negative, obviously. Yeah. Then when you get here, they take you to a hotel that's attached to the airport and lock you in there at your cost. It costs like $2,000 a day.
Excellent.
Yeah. And you got to get doctors and shit to come see you and give you another test that's negative before you're allowed out. And then you still have to do a 14 days home isolation.
I think that's all of Canada now.
Wow.
I think that's for us too.
Wow.
So that just ruined my point. I said I think our best shot was like TAL if Canada was to open up, because he seemed very determined, Jeff Frank, but that's not going to happen. But Ryan Espy was teasing something on one of his most recent videos that he has some type of announcement he's planning on making. I'm very interested to see.
Yeah, I'm interested in that too. He mentioned a new league of some sort, but didn't really give any details. So that's interesting. And some new other big stuff for his channel. So yeah, I hope it is. I hope that's what's going to happen. All right, we got a new guy entering the chat. We'll see how this goes. This is Aaron Yearsley. It's been super chatting up. Of course, super chats are most appreciated here, everyone. If you have any questions for anybody on the panel, of course, we've got Jason Merlot, Evan Burgoyne, Roger Bailey Learned, and Aaron Yearsley is now coming in. So if you have questions, just let us know, guys. There's, did any of you guys see the Facebook thing that came from PAL posting a picture of Trubin beating Michael?
Yes.
And Michael was on there getting a little spicy?
Yes.
Oh, buddy. Because at last I heard, so Michael came on with Cobra and that was like, I don't even remember what Saturday. That was Saturday. We went live. Michael came on. He was like, you know what? I think that something may still happen with the PAL. Maybe 11 is there. And he was like moderately optimistic. And then I read that stream of Facebook comments and I was like, ooh, it ain't looking good. Unless they have like this big master plan, but I don't think so. It was like Michael versus Zil Fadley, that referee guy. And like they were going back and forth and it's not looking good, boys. It's not looking good.
Yeah, I don't. It's gotten super sour. I don't know. It's really like, yeah. It seems there's a little bit of resentment.
Yeah, just a wee bit. But on the upside, it does seem that RVJ and Ryan Bowen, because last week on this show we had Ryan Bowen was here and he was optimistic, and then the day after the show, Rob put out the video and he's like, "I'm moving on. I don't want to hear about it anymore. It's not happening. It's over with." And then the day after that, 180, and we're back, and we're pulling in the next 4 to 6 months. And I don't know if did Ryan release the amount of money that he has to start? He just said it was 5 figures or higher.
Well, they did. He said he was supposed to have an announcement with Neil. I don't think that I haven't seen that happen yet.
Right. Yeah, with Neil and Rob, we're doing something.
Right. Yeah, so we're waiting to see that. And my biggest wonder is, when does testing start and how often does it start? Because that's what RVJ seems super hyped about, just his whole agenda with that. He's just happy that they're presenting a tested super match for the arm wrestling world.
That's not happening.
You don't think you're going to do any testing, Evan?
They're not doing shit. And if they do, Bowen ain't passing. And if he does, he ain't winning.
Hey, Aaron Yearsley, can you hear us? Nope. Can you? I cannot hear you, my friend. I think you gotta click on something to start your audio.
You gotta click that unmute.
I don't know. I can't even tell him to unmute. I think the audio never got connected. If you keep going, Aaron, see if you can get that audio clicking. Eric Racine with the $6.99 super chat for Evan Burgoyne. He says, Evan, I know it's been a while since you gripped up with Xavier Marshall, but how do you think Curtis Cameron would currently do against him? I'm interested to find this answer out as well.
Okay. I've got no idea. I've gripped up with Xavier once. And it was at a practice. Well, it was after a tournament. I was reffing the tournament. But, you know, I had a 3-hour practice the night before. My arms are all beat to shit. Probably much worse than whoever just finished the tournament. But he wanted to get on the practice table and see what was up. And then, you know, I was beating him. And then he started beating me. Yeah, we can hear you now.
All right,
and
cool.
He took a little cut of the video of one of the pins he got on me, and he started sending it around everybody in Quebec saying that he was way better than me. Which I thought was hilarious.
That sounds really familiar. Like this happened like the other day. Weird.
So I would love to have pulled him. I offered if you wanted to pull, we could do it. Put some money on it if you want. And he didn't want to arm wrestle.
I see. So
I don't think he's anywhere near as strong as Curtis.
What's Curtis's deal? Like this guy just shows up. Like when did he start arm wrestling? Maybe a couple of years ago?
The event that I arm wrestled with Xavier afterwards.
I see. So he's just a ton of power in the very short period of time.
Yeah, Curtis, he was just like a jacked up dude that liked being strong. That he, you know, Googled arm wrestling and found that there was a tournament in Ottawa, and he just showed up.
Wow.
And I was reffing that tournament. I think his first match was, I don't know, it was an arm wrestler. I don't remember who, but somebody that's been around a bit, and it went into a hook, and Curtis pulled through him really easy. I'm like, wow, that's kind of impressive. His second match, I think, was Gobby. That was nothing. And then his third match, still A-side, was Devin. Which I thought was fun.
Yeah.
So Devin smashed into a hook, and it stopped. This is the guy's first time ever touching a table, and he stopped Devin in a hook to the point where Devin just picked his arm up off the pad.
Wow.
Really?
On the re-go, Devin top rolled, said, I'm not fucking with that arm.
Yeah.
So then Devin ended up sending Alex Paquette B-side. And I don't know if you guys from the States would know Alex.
Yes.
But that dude's got a mega hook.
Yeah.
So B-side, Curtis ends up against Alex then. And that was 45 seconds to a minute long in the hook. Alex, they went into the hook. Alex tried several times to pin him. Curtis just kept holding on. Alex then starts trying to post and try to roll out his hand. Not going. Back into the hook. Trying back outside. Couldn't do it. Eventually, he was able to stand up far enough to get a shoulder over and press through. But 45 seconds in with a dude like Paquette, on your first time ever touching a tournament, crazy.
God dang.
Yeah.
So I couldn't believe it when you guys were pulling in, you know, when I saw the video, and I'm just like, oh my God, how does he get that?
You want some excuses? I got excuses.
Yeah, I'll hear some, but he looked really
always
impressive.
got excuses.
We all got excuses, right?
Yeah.
My excuse is I don't want to pull that guy because I saw what he did to Evan, and I don't want anything to do with him.
I wouldn't put too much into that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that makes me feel better, I guess.
We found out Tuesday night that we're going to pull on Saturday. You know, we had some guys coming down from Ottawa, coming up from North Bay, meeting in the middle. Somebody was getting a table off of Louis. We're like, well, if we've got all these guys that nobody's seen in a while,
might as well rip
some matches together, because we had Matt Carrier and Regan Goldberg wanted to do an actual match there that they knew about a few weeks before. So they actually, you know, they took good rest and everything else to get ready for it. Then we're like, well, if we got a brand new table, we're having a match anyways. Let's get a few more matches with anybody else that's coming. So Curtis and I just got thrown together like 4 days.
Ah, gotcha.
I don't know about you, but 4 days notice is not enough time to be ready.
Not for a super match.
Not for anything. I
Yeah.
can't get ready for a practice in 4 days notice.
I can't even get dressed in 4 days.
Well, if you're a superior athlete like me, you are always ready. Promoters, I am always ready to pull. All I need is a little bit of this in my hand.
What's that? Palm action?
Little money.
Oh,
Just
okay.
like Travis. I'm just going to become like Travis. That's it.
Don't do it. No. You're.
Oh,
you're
you don't
way-
want any friends either.
Well, you know,
I like it more just being John.
that's probably true.
Yeah, we
So,
like
another super
I like
chat.
Travis. I met him before, but you're. Yeah, don't do it.
So we got another
Win
super
money.
chat from Matthew Singer, $4.99. He says, it sucks, but I don't think Levin and Mike ever really pull. That's correct. Gennady versus Mike is way more likely. Well, it's probably more likely now. I mean, Gennady called out Michael more or less, but then Michael basically explained, well, that's fine, we can do that, but we need to have the money, right? Because that's what the money, that's what the match is all about, is about the money, you know. Because why do it if it's not going to be there with the two biggest dudes in the game right now?
Because we love arm wrestling.
But it ain't going to happen unless there's money involved in it, right?
Why?
I just did it for the glory. Fuck it.
Well, of course, some people would do it for the glory, but I'm telling you guys, with all of
I
the
know.
working parts, if you think with all the moving parts that this match is going to happen in a garage, you are out of your minds.
Oh yeah. I mean, as far as the production part, yeah, I agree.
With these two people, like, of course, if somebody wanted, I'll pull in your garage. I'll pull anybody in their garage. I'd never get to pull hardly. But
I
for these guys,
I
like,
it
we're
in
not
the
seeing it
parking
unless
lot.
there's fireworks going off with it, guaranteed.
I don't
Right.
understand why anybody would let something like that hold it back. Who got into this sport for money? None of these guys that have been around this long got into this sport for money. We got into it because we enjoy doing it. We fucking love arm wrestling.
Right.
True.
But when you're doing it for 30
Does it matter
years,
if you're the
you have
number one guy in the
opportunity.
world or the number one guy in Ontario? If you're going to be afraid to lose that rank, why don't you just retire when you're there?
But think about it like this. Michael Todd's been arm wrestling for 30 years. He's never seen a payday, a big payday, and now he finally has the opportunity to get one.
Right.
Why piss
So
it
you're
away?
saying because Michael has never seen a big payday, he should hold out till he sees a big payday.
I'm not
gonna
saying,
get- it's
I'm not,
arm
no,
wrestling.
no,
Nobody
no.
gets big
You are
payday.
incorrect. You are putting words in my mouth that I did not say. I'm suggesting that's the motivation. I'm not saying he should or shouldn't do it. I'm saying that's the motivation. That's the behavioral motivation.
That's a ridiculous line of thinking to think that you're going to get the big money that you've never gotten ever before by avoiding them. Just pull the match. Do you not want to know who the man is? Do you not want to know who would win? Isn't that why we train and get ready to compete so we can test ourselves?
If this was 5 years ago, at least 5 years ago, the match would have happened. There's no question about it. We're in a completely different time now, and I think both sides see the potential for getting the money in there, so they're going to hold out, and I think they're going to stand strong. And I think it's unfortunate, but I think that's what's the main driving factor for sure. And I don't think they're going to say they're not going to do it unless the money's there, because they see the potential for the money to be there.
Well, 5+ years ago, there was no different contracted leagues, and the PAL would have put it together. There would have been nothing stopping them, but there wouldn't have been big money for those guys either.
Right. Exactly. Completely different time. I know, it's a shame.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, let me stop us all for a moment for a breaking news. I think that we need to introduce the masked man who has just entered the chat, the one and only Cobra Rhodes. Cobra.
Uncle John, good to see you. Jason, what up? Jason, how tall are you, bro?
6'1".
Are you 6'1"? All right. Dude, you got like a doppelganger. I can't think of the kid's name, but there was a guy at the Stone Pony, right? I helped produce this show for Marvin Cohen down on the Jersey Shore. It was like before we did Game of Arms. dude, I'm so goofy, you know. But there was this kid from New York, and he, I think he beat Allen one match. I had never seen him before, and I'm like, is that guy? No.
I wish I could say it was.
Yeah, bummer, right? Bummer, right? Back in Rhode Island, we call that a bummer. Yeah. How's everybody doing tonight?
Good. Nice.
Very
A
good.
lot better than yesterday. I'll tell you that.
Nice.
That's good. So before we get too far with Mr. Cobra Rhodes, I do want to mention that Cobra and I will be live tomorrow at 2 p.m. Atlantic, 1 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Central on Uncle John's Arm Wrestling Show. You do not know what is going to happen. Last time we dared to go live, Michael Todd showed up. It was crazy.
Is that the After Dark? Is that the After Dark deal?
No, this is Cobra and Uncle John live. We will go live whenever. You will never know when it's going to hit, but you do today. So tomorrow.
You're going into this the snake pit, huh?
That's what. Cobra's ready. Cobra's ready. So Aaron Yearsley, you're in the chat.
Yes,
you put in some good super chats earlier on, and you were talking about some issues. You're just coming back to arm wrestling. You're already causing a fuss.
Dude.
You're already making a big stink about things. So what happened? You and Jody Williams,
Okay,
Chocolate Thunder.
All right. Saturday, make a practice, right? Showed up. Had my super match with the super heavy guy. Got my ass handed to me. Didn't even win one match. His hand was way too much. Anyways, I pulled. I went. I had a cigarette break. I did my thing. Ate a hamburger. Me and Joni, we pulled a little bit at the start, but nothing really serious. And then I came in. He whacked me twice outside. Strap. I posted both of the videos when we talked and we were all good now. But anyways, basically, my wrist is still kind of hurting from my tournament like 2 weeks ago. And this is left-handed. And I'm like, hey, can we just start a hook just to see, right? And which was, I think you guys saw the video.
I haven't seen any of the videos yet.
I caught him. He hit super hard, about 3/4. I caught him and just rolled back to the pad on my side, no problem. But I'm a hooker. I mean, I don't know. I don't think I could touch him in a tournament setting. And I never claimed to beat him at practice. I said, there was a guy in Utah that said, hey, if you pull Jody, let me know how you do. I'm like, all right. So he said, how did you do? I'm like, in a hook, I felt I had more power. Did not say I could beat him.
So what was Jody mad about, though? What was Jody upset about? I'm still disappointed.
Well, basically, he interpreted from chance that I told him that I could beat him. Basically, so last time me and Jody talked when I was a little bit soft and we had it out. And he's like, dude, I'm sorry. I took it out of context and I thought you were saying you could beat me. And you know how it is about practice. And I'm like, dude, I just felt I had more power in a hook. That's it.
So basically you posted a video and he interpreted that you were talking shit about him being weak. Got you. So the long and short of it is,
arm wrestlers have feelings. Arm wrestlers have feelings.
True. And the thing is, I love that guy. And okay, this is going to sound really like,
it's just arm wrestling.
I was in tears last night when I was talking to him because I was upset. And I'm like, dude, you're my homie. I love pulling you. Dude, even before I moved up here, I'm like, we talked when I broke my arm, and we've been friends for a long time. And I'm like, you would really think I would like come at you and like be that stupid? I'm like, come on, man. So we're good. We're good. We're probably most likely gonna do a super match summertime.
Beautiful.
Starting a hook, dude.
You better get it qualified. Start it in a hook.
Well, dude, actually, I need to learn. I need to get this thing right here and this thing.
Your hand on sync with your arm.
Yeah. I just like the thing is like I got good power, and this time around I've been trying to work on the hand, and it's just. I talked to my buddy Kevin Butts from Idaho, and I got some rope deals I'm gonna be doing to do the in and all that shit.
Yeah,
try to get better.
Evan, did you ever talk shit about anybody and then feel bad about it later?
I've never talked shit about anybody.
What up, Evan?
You?
How's it going?
Slow motion.
I'm a nice guy. I am pleasant to be around at all times for everybody.
I've never met you, but you seem pretty pleasant.
Yeah, he's a kind of gentleman.
Give it time. Give it time.
Yeah.
Gentleman and a scholar.
Knowledge is only exceeded by his good looks.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's not setting the bar very high.
Well,
Just limp through it, man.
All I know is the old John got the best T-shirt on in the house. So just saying.
Oh yeah, we got my. I didn't even wear my own merch.
If I would have known, I would have went in the closet and got mine out too.
Bro, I'm
But
still
I
waiting for my I'm still waiting for my Uncle John shirt. I'm like, I've been working with dude for 3
I don't
months.
have a pound for
We got-
pound. I don't have Uncle John. I don't have any kind of T-shirt like
But-
that.
I can't get a friggin' shirt, dude.
You got it. You're so mysterious. I don't know where to send it.
Yeah, right. Just send it to the Miami location.
Oh, the Miami. Okay, that was what I was confused about. That's what I was confused about. Very nice. Very nice. All right. So Cobra, what's on your mind this evening? What do you think? Tell me what's on your mind. Let's
7 iron, man. Tiger Woods is still in surgery, bro.
What's going on with that? Did he get wasted
Dude,
again?
he smacked up his car. The jaws of life pulled him out. He's still in surgery. Both legs
What?
busted, ankles, all kinds of things.
Crazy.
Yeah, Tiger Woods is bent tonight. Yeah.
The hell?
I mean, I like to play whack fuck. You know, I like to hit that thing. That's my thing. I mean, I was playing before he was swimming in his dad's nuts. So, you know, but I mean, I respect game, you know. I really like Ernie Els. So
There you
I
go.
like the Big Easy. I like when he cuts down on that ball, you know. What you do if you like the golf game, go watch the seniors. They got a slower swing. You can really,
You can appreciate it a little bit more.
yeah, you can see it. I mean, some of these guys now on tour, bro, you don't learn anything watching these guys. They're so fucking fast. Got a 132-mile-an-hour swing. Fuck. What? Are you telling me you saw that guy hit the ball? No, you didn't. You're better off watching it at home on TV. But if you go see the seniors, then you might take
Learn a little something.
Yeah.
Nice. So Cobra, being that you've probably arm wrestled just as long as everyone combined in this chat
Aggregate.
right now.
Since we're speaking golf, aggregate.
Yeah.
I got what? 13 years.
Yeah, I think Cobra's got what, 40-ish?
Yeah.
One.
How much you got, Jason?
Only 6 years pro.
Really?
Push-ups, bro. Water that motherfucker.
You make me feel old, man. I've been like 02,
You guys
03.
kick everybody's ass.
All right. So Cobra, my question for you is, since you've been around and you've heard the rotating bullshit of arm wrestling so many times, when was the first time that you heard the idea of arm wrestling going to the Olympics?
Olympic. 1980.
1980. So pretty long ago. Now, was there any time where you were like, this might actually happen?
1980.
Yeah. That's when it was closest?
That no, but that I heard it, and they were like coming up. It was when Gabe Bacardi and I were at our first tournament, and everyone was like, "Oh, this kid." They're talking to my dad, you know, because that's kind of like a little buzzard of a kid. I wasn't trying to meet people. I was trying to win, and like Bonnie Fitzsimmons, Jim Fitzsimmons' wife, she's talking to my dad and my sisters and stuff, and Bob O'Leary, and they're saying, "We're going to the Olympics." And this kid, he's woo, 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 woo. You know, there's all these adults talking about me.
Right.
So, yeah, Olympics, man. Oh, yeah.
And so
Right in my head, dude. Yeah, we don't. You know what? I went to dinner in Geneva when we had Worlds. I went to dinner with the. Should we say that? I told you the story with the IOC. When with the IOC, let's say it.
Yeah. All right.
But yeah.
So Eric Racine.
No, I mean, I'll coach a team.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. If we ever do make it to the Olympics, though, people are hired. There's coaching jobs. There's, you know, the like some of the top guys like Svlan in Kazakhstan, like my brother Kazbek Zolev, the Russian. You guys might, I don't know if you guys know who he is, but he's like an old timer. This guy's going on and trained Olympic champions and weightlifting, and you know, and he was just an arm wrestler. But I don't know. I segued. Just started thinking about all the talented people I know.
Yeah.
There's a lot. This sport's great, man. What up, bro?
Absolutely. Well, so Eric Racine mentioned in the chat that he found some mentions of arm wrestling in the Olympics in the late 60s. So this has been a conversation that has been going on for 60 years then, or 50 years at the minimum. Yeah. So when people get all worked up about Olympic and arm wrestling and all this stuff, just realize that this is a long line of bullshit that we've been talking for all the time. Of course, we all want it. It would be awesome. I would love to see it, but we have to
John, we all want it, but we don't need it.
That's it.
I mean, we've been riding on our own bike all this time, man. And now when it's time to eat, the Olympics are gonna come. With all these meter movers we have, as we spoke on the Michael Todd chat, shit's changing, bro. Shit's changing. I mean, my 11-year-old kid talked me into being a YouTube dude, and I went to the top. I got Uncle John, you know.
I'll watch that stuff.
You know what I mean? So I understand this game's about to change. So I want to play a little bit, at least share. I don't know, try to grow the sport. I've been trying to grow this bitch for a minute.
Long time. We also had Derek Smith was in the chat. He just got to Dubai.
Is he there?
He says he's just checking in.
Oh, sweet.
And he's heading to sleep for 2 hours.
I'll cut out if you need to fit D in.
He said he can't come on because he has to go to sleep for a couple hours and then he has to go meet people.
We want to see them puffy eyes, boy.
Oh, I bet he's rough.
Up your beak? Is that straw up your beak already?
So thanks to Derek. Well, thanks to Gary for putting on the New Year's celebration, which is basically what got Derek to Dubai. And so now we get to benefit on all the content that he's going to put out.
Cool.
Pretty sweet.
Really cool.
Yeah. That happened pretty quick too, from New Year's. I mean,
not bad. I mean, to go around the world during a pandemic, you know, it's pretty much the most you can ask for.
Have fun, bro. Enjoy, bro. Eat, bro. Snatch menus for me, Derek. Snatch menus for me, bro. Please.
There it is. So, Jason Merlot.
Yes.
Do you have anything on your radar currently? Next time you're gonna pull.
I don't know when the next time I'm gonna pull is, but like I was mentioning before to Missile, as I'd like to call him. Possibly, I want to try and set up a match with Paul Talbot, left-handed. As long as my left thumb heals up within a few months, I want to set that match up. So I think that's really going to be my main focus to try and get that to actually happen. We're close enough to each other, and I know James Reed will set that up. So I have a feeling that's what my focus is really going to be on.
Nice.
We
did have a super chat from Ms. El Jador. Question for Evan regarding me. So I don't know if you're aware, Evan, but I have super matches versus Rob McNamara left-handed on Tuesday, and also a right-handed super match versus Phil Carty. And Mizelle wants to know if you have predictions, but I don't know how well you know those guys.
I'll take McNamara and you.
Me over Carty, but McNamara over me?
Yeah.
Why?
Because my grandmother was a McNamara.
That's why I always want to clarify.
Yeah, I don't know enough about the guys that you're pulling to, but who you said a left-handed match at 200 pounds?
So I'm 207, or I was 207. I'm probably like 212 now because I'm eating heavy the week before. But basically, Rob is like 280-ish. So I'm giving up like a lot of weight. I have flip-flopped with Rob in the past, but we haven't pulled seriously for probably 3 or 4 years. Right?
If it's a 280-pound dude that arm wrestles in Canada and I'm not super familiar with him, I'm going to take you.
It's Rob's been on and off, but he banged with like Gary Goodrich back in the day. He banged with Mike Gould.
Yeah, so you probably couldn't beat him in the 90s.
Who?
Probably not. Rob McNamara from the East Coast.
But you were also like 7 back then.
What's that?
Is he from Kitchener?
No, he's from out here in Nova Scotia.
Okay.
So I don't know when. I think it was maybe late 90s when he kind of mid to late 90s when he was pulling. And then he kind of got out of it, but then he's been kind of in and out. So the problem for me is the last time I pulled, I was 255 pounds and now I'm 210 pounds. I have no idea. Like in the gym, feel great, lifting more than ever, doing it longer than ever. But what is that? How is that going to work on the table with when I come hand to hand? I don't know.
Better.
That's a shit.
I hope it's better. I hope it's better. Phil Carty, right-handed. I've only ever beat him legitimately once in my life, and that was in November when I was 255 and he was 225. Now I'll be lighter than him, but like I'm talking, I have to do everything I can and take his hand. If he gets 1 centimeter on me, he puts me in a hook and I'm toast.
Yeah, when I made my predictions, I forgot how bad your right hand is.
Yeah, you should always remember that.
Yeah, I never thought of it.
You think you
But
gained any speed, Uncle John, by losing all the weight?
Well, that's a good question. I would assume I've gained speed, but I will guarantee you what I've gained is the ability to actually get to the table. Instead of having a 4 inches of gut in the way, I'm up. I'm so much tighter than I've ever been. So my load is boom, and my body is here instead of out there to start.
So I know exactly what you're talking about with that.
Yeah.
Because I've pulled up at 295 and I've pulled down at 225.
Yeah, whole different world.
There's a huge difference, especially any type of inside movement. When I'm trying to get my elbow sucked into my body and my shoulder behind it to get like some skeletal structure to support my hook, I can't do that at 280. You know,
right? Because
at 240, I'm super coiled in. My shoulder is behind my arm. You've now got to come through an angle where this has got to come through, and it can't because I can get lined up and I can cut your arm off with it.
Right.
So everything is way better, smaller. I feel stronger, especially at a table at 220 than I do at 280. The only negative I found is your hand shrinks when you lose that much weight. So with your left hand and your big fat thumb pad you got, when people grab onto you,
that much anymore.
They have a hard time trying to reach all the way around your hand to get any type of hand control on you because it's so thick. And you're a sneaky little prick, and you like to push your thumb forward so that they can't reach any further.
Sneaky
double jointed, baby.
You little prick.
So when you try to grab onto that, we're used to people that are trying to grab onto that to control you. They're not going to be able to, or they're going to be able to reach now.
I want to see what's going on. You down in Texas, right?
Well, he's being that sneaky prick, and then they won't be able to.
Was that cover?
You down in Texas?
I'm in Pennsylvania, but I'm from Texas.
Yeah. I heard you earlier before I cut in. Some dude said, "Get in there, Coach." Yeah, I've been to Texas. They let me in there.
I get in trouble in Texas too much.
He's just too quiet. He's sitting there, bro. Hey, Jason, are those rods behind you on the wall?
Oh,
Yeah.
Go to Jason Merlot's YouTube channel. Jason,
There's a rod that I'm building currently. It's on the rod building table as we speak. Uncle John saw a quick snippet of it earlier.
Oh yeah, you smashing them out, bro. I grew up on the reservoir, bro. Yeah, pull them in.
Are we talking fly fishermen or
Massachusetts line?
Yeah, that's my other life besides arm wrestling. Fishing is number one.
I got an old Browning rod.
Pulling pickerel out of that, man.
They don't make them no more.
That's great. All right,
Bailey
as you were, Uncle John. Sorry.
No worries. Roger Bailey learned. What's your next big event that you got coming up?
Those rods.
It will be the Waxahachie, Texas thing.
Waxahachie. Nice. And so what do you pull? You're just pulling the regular tournament or the ROTN style thing they're doing?
Yeah, I'm doing that. The after pull, I'm pulling anywhere I can.
The whole thing. What's your weight right now? Are you like around like 242-ish, somewhere in there?
Around the 235, 240.
235, 240. Nice. And deck pull-ups are coming along still, or have you abandoned that yet, or what?
No, I've never abandoned that. I'm doing more gym time, so I'm doing all my pull-ups at the gym, unfortunately.
Nice.
But yeah, it's still pull-ups are a key part of my
kid, huh? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Evan, what's is there anything going on in Ottawa even that you can even discuss?
Yeah, we're allowed to have outdoor gatherings up to 10 again. So
Okay.
I've got
And
events coming up this weekend and next weekend.
Nice. And are you
Yeah.
pulling anyone specific?
Well, this weekend I'm going to try not to arm wrestle because just my birthday party. So I'm going to try to just get as drunk as possible.
Oh,
Yeah,
you're gonna arm
what's
wrestle.
your birthday again?
Saturday,
My birthday is Monday. How old are you?
37.
Oh,
damn,
now you
almost
lying,
the same
man.
damn day.
Then next weekend we're having our next little installment of that super match series that we're doing here.
Ah.
So I'm pulling Jason Constantini.
Both hands?
No, he didn't want no left with me. He's pulling one of the guys on my team, Zach Sadler, left-handed.
Okay. All right.
So they're bringing a few guys up, and Jason and I sat down. We looked through, the guys that are on our team and who was willing to make the drive with them up here, and kind of matched everybody as closely as we could, size and experience level. Make whatever amendments you got to make the match make sense. Try to make the best matches that we can.
Yeah.
But yeah, Brendan's pulling Mohinder.
Mohinder Singh. What's the deal with Brendan? BLM just tagged me in a post on Instagram, and he's like, "There's a new web series coming, and it's gonna be funny." And I'm like, "Oh, it better be funny, Brendan." Are you a part of this, Evan, at all?
I'll tell you, things got different with Brendan as soon as weed got legalized.
As soon as what?
As soon as weed got legalized.
Yeah, recreational changed a lot of people, bro. That's like amateur hour right now.
We just want to screw around and do a bunch of we're just gonna be us and just film it.
Nice. So you are involved a little bit, but we'll see what comes out of it.
Yeah.
Nice. So
I
Aaron,
don't know how crazy that's all going to be, but do you know Jason Constantini?
I don't know him, but I've talked to him a couple times recently.
Just the Table Monkeys guys.
Yeah. I watch all their stuff, and I've talked to them briefly online, but I don't know them yet. No.
Jason's a big dude, and if you want to watch, he had a super match with Curtis, both arms, over the summer, where he hung him up, and at Yannick's event, that was like almost a 2-minute match, left-handed with Curtis.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
He's a big dude. He's 320, 330, I think.
He's big. He's a real big dude.
And he's on his first cycle, so he's expecting to be considerably stronger this time.
Yep.
And I like the transparency he uses with all that. Like it's on his YouTube channel, everything he's taking in his cycle and all the research and why he's taking what.
Yeah.
So
well, and
cool.
he at least has a bit of a reason to as well, I think, right? Because he had like the cancer thing going on, and then he's trying
his nuts don't work.
Yeah. So I guess you probably need something going on there.
Yeah.
Right.
That'll be good. Aaron.
Not for me. I do not like King's movers.
That's true. He is a bit of a King's mover, isn't he?
Actually, I love King's moves. I just don't like pulling.
Yeah, that's true too. So Aaron, you have been back in arm wrestling for a hot minute. You already pissed a few people off. What's next for you?
He hates that entry. Why do you have to enter like that, Uncle John? Cut him some slack. You beat him up for an hour.
I did. And it was my bad, Cobra. I should have known better.
I know, but I mean,
this man came on the show to talk about his transgression. So
okay, let's talk about it, man. What you do there? Something I don't know.
As far as what's next, as far as like what I'm doing, the only thing I got going on here, I think the first or second week of April, I got a super match with Sean Lester, which is a local kid up here in Washington, which he's probably gonna whip my ass too. So we'll see.
Well, if that's your mindset, there's a good chance of that ass whooping coming. Now I have a question for you guys.
I think, Cobra, honestly, if I can get my hand and wrist better by then, I have a really good chance. I have an idea how to maybe beat him without that, but it's basically a reverse hit, in the
reverse hit. I never heard of that one.
Basically, you come up to the top of the pad and hit into your fingers with a lat drag real quick and just stay there.
Real quick. My boy said real quick.
As quick as the fat boy can move.
Yeah, I don't know. Wait.
I tried.
But
I tried it at practice and it kind of worked, but I don't know, dude. Honestly, I'm still rusty. 3 months back, and
listen, has anyone slid these like like there's 4 different things you can see. Like I just found like
Yeah.
Evan and Aaron. I've been like,
Yo, what's up?
I'm talking to these people. Where are these people? So now there's 4 little dots under my thing, and now there's all different views. And the one that has Evan and Aaron, Gary's still picture is under it. It must be his wedding walk or something.
Oh, that's Gary. I couldn't
Yeah,
get
yeah, it's Gary. Yeah, it's like Gary. Right?
You
Yeah.
got Evan with a big, nice beard.
Oh, me? No, you got the big
Yeah,
beard.
no, I mean, he got mine beat, but I I'm working on it. You know,
You ain't never seen this on a pimp's face ever, and it's about to be gone.
looking good, Cobra. Looking good, Cobra.
Quiet time. But Gary looks like it's his coming out party. You gotta see this still picture.
Yeah.
It looks like he's just coming out of the corner. Find this picture, you guys. Screenshot it. What up, Julian?
Yeah.
Turn off your mute, Julian, so we can welcome you.
No.
What's up? What's up from Texas, baby?
Hey, all my exes.
Burger.
All my exes. Everybody welcome Julian.
Julian.
Julian, what's going on, man?
When is the next time Gary Roberts is going to put a whooping on you? That's the question of the day.
Ooh.
That fool couldn't put a whooping on me. I smashed him left-handed, and I know I'm gonna smash him right. And that was that. Look, that was with 4 months of training. I only been in the sport competitively 4 months, and smashed him no problem.
You do realize that Gary is like on a scale of 1 to 10, a -2.
Hey, look.
No, I mean, he's a warm one.
Gary's a
for
1.2.
Gary, but, so
Maybe.
Gary is a -2, but he has dog mode, and dog mode grants him +5.
See, I was about to say, we got a video, but
it's really short-lived.
My money's on you, Julian. You see this picture of Gary?
Gun show.
It's unfortunate because the chat can't see the picture, but we can all see the picture. We have to wait for Gary to come back in. Gary, come back in. I can't bring you back.
Party. I wish my writers were here. We could do some stuff with this.
Hopefully, he's got a lot of stuff set up for Waxahachie, so hopefully I can pull him there, but I want to pull him fresh so he's got no excuses of why this 155er, I walk around at like 160, 165, but I go to 154, is going to smash him like easily. And I was trying to box Barry Bourne because I just seen how trash they were, and I'll take both of them.
Yeah, but you actually fight. You can't put you in a ring with somebody like that. That's not fair, man.
But
if they won't let me do it, they can't let you do it. No, bullshit.
Barry, you better watch your mouth. He might come swinging at you. Now,
actually, I have some insight that
that dude ain't swinging at me.
All right, Julian, give us your insight.
Evan, I care about you.
I actually
don't get Julian hot.
Found out that he does not live that far from me, and he actually might be coming to one of my practices that I go to.
Who?
Man,
Gary or Barry?
Barry Bourne.
Pull up.
Barry Bourne.
Yeah. So you live near Bourne Road?
Yeah, it's like maybe 2 hours away.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I would say give me a call if you beat Barry Bourne.
Oh God.
Because if you ain't beating Barry Bourne, you ain't doing much.
At arm wrestling?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's just boring. Nobody wants to watch that.
Well, that's true too.
Where y'all fishing at?
I don't know. Paul Lynn said he was strong, so who knows?
Paul Lynn is the nicest.
Paul Lynn said he was strong.
Paul Lynn.
If Paul Lynn didn't call him a beast,
right,
it doesn't count.
Right.
Yeah, if he didn't get on the beast meter, then yeah.
He's just strong. Paul Lynn calls most 2 weak amateurs a beast. So if this guy's just really strong, he ain't shit.
Paul Lynn will tell you how strong I am, and we have never pulled before. Nor am I strong. So there you go. There's two for you right there.
That boy said Paul Lynn said he was strong.
Yeah.
Bless your heart.
Well, I mean, that's the only person that's actually talked about him pulling, that's actually pulled him. So
that's true. That is true. So at the end of the day,
locked up with Jason Merlot, Julian?
Do what?
You ever locked up with Jason Merlot?
No, no. Like I said, I just got into it competitively now about 7 months ago.
All right. You ever get to the East Coast?
No, I've never. The furthest east I've been is on the east coast of Florida.
Okay, where you sitting at right now?
Do what?
Where you sitting at right now?
Tyler, Texas.
Okay.
That's
Who
right.
got in Tyler, Texas. So you're not too far from Livingston then.
Nah, I don't know exactly where it's at, but I'm sure it's not too far.
No,
well, I don't know.
The Fuller Black. Who are you training with?
Oh, I'm training with some old school guys actually.
Who?
You're near Longview.
Hey, hold on. Whose wife or girlfriend is talking way too loud in the background?
Not mine.
Not mine.
That's Julian.
Who is it, Evan? Is it you?
My old lady's asleep.
Okay. Julian, who you pulling with? I'm gonna hook you up with some dudes.
So a guy named Richard Gibson and Rick Parlett.
Anybody know them?
That sounds familiar, kind of.
Those are the two guys that I found that I linked up with here in Tyler. And so far I got with this guy named Adam. He's got a weird last name, but
all right,
he's out of Lone Oak.
Figure it out. Now that you went on the chat, you can get it better. Roger, did you say one of those names sounded familiar to you?
Well, I know in Tyler, he's near Matt Craig, which is like right.
Yeah. What he's saying, old boy. All right.
Yeah, I've tried.
Don't worry about Gary. Gary hurt you, man.
Yeah, I've locked up with Craig a couple times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Inside the dog thing.
Yeah. I actually wanted to talk about that since no one's talking about that on here. Was the Greg Gray and Matt Craig?
Well, can anyone explain that saga to me? Because I don't really know the full thing, but it seems like they sure do hate each other quite a bit.
I don't know the full story on it, but I'm assuming that they've been trying to pull for a really long time, and it just never. It always falls. It's kind of like Tony Ferguson and Khabib.
Why? Are they like fighting over a girl or something? What's going on?
They fight over a girl.
How did this great fucking rivalry happen?
I don't know. I think just a bunch of shit talking. You know, I can beat you, you can beat me, or can't beat me. Blah blah blah.
Yeah. Tell them to bite a head.
Well, I saw that they did put money in escrow, so there is money on the line.
Yeah.
How much?
Crazy.
500 piece, I think it was.
Yeah, 500.
So pretty good.
Hey, it doesn't hurt the sport, does it, Uncle John?
No.
Absolutely not. More money the merrier.
No.
Getting richer. So that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Greg Gray. I've gotten to know Greg Gray a little bit because he's been doing a lot of stuff on ARMPR, the show I've been doing there. He's been doing a lot.
I've actually been training.
Oh, dude, I don't know anything
training
about
for that lift.
Craig, though.
I'm going to mute for a bit, fellas.
Sounds good, buddy. So what's Matt Craig's deal? Is he a power dude? Is he good? Has he been around? What's anybody know?
Well, I mean, for me, he seems pretty good. He, like I said, I've locked up with him a couple of times, and he has been at a couple of practices that I've been at.
Mm-hmm.
He's given me some really helpful tips on arm wrestling and stuff like that. He's super strong to me, though. But
I mean, Greg Gray has won the Arnolds before. Like, he's legit.
Recently.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know Greg Gray's a beast too. And I think Matt just pulled he pulled a fuck, I can't remember who his name was, but it was just in Odessa last weekend.
It's
Bill
phone call
Loxton.
wife, Evan.
Oh, longer.
What's up?
It's like we're on the phone call with your wife.
Is it that loud?
Yeah.
I can't even hear. Like she's 2 rooms away.
Your microphone must be amazing.
So how did he do?
I'll
against
just
Bill
hop out of the
Loxton?
call then. Hear them, boys.
All right. Thanks for stopping by, Evan. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. We'll talk to you soon.
Later, Evan.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Later, guys.
Roger, what was the
Uh,
question?
I said, how did he do against Bill Loxton? Because Bill Loxton's he's pretty good.
yeah,
how
he's a
did he do?
beast. I've actually seen him compete at the Oklahoma Regionals a couple months ago in December, but it was left-handed and he lost. Matt did. Bill
Wow.
Loxton smashed. Yeah.
They gave him Hands of Steel as a nickname for a reason.
Yeah, I mean,
Bill Logsdon is
I told
basically
him back at 16.
yeah. Bill
well,
Logsdon forever. He's a
I
beast.
seen him on Game of Arms and shit back in
Yeah.
2014 when it first came out. So, and that's what actually got me like interested in actually like arm wrestling my friends and stuff like that. But like I said, well, I was always into MMA and stuff, so I never really took arm wrestling competitively or seriously or anything like that because I was always doing MMA. COVID hit, you know, shut my MMA gym down. So I got into arm wrestling. Boom, 7 months later, here we go. Hopefully I do pretty good at the Waxahachie event in my weight class.
Now,
Yeah.
are you from Tyler, Texas? Because I'm from that area.
No, I'm not from Tyler. I actually moved here from Paris, Texas. Way
I know
smaller
that
town.
too. I mean, that's my
Yeah.
neighborhood.
I
Yeah,
mean,
my grandma's from Clarksville, which is right outside of Paris. Yeah.
right outside of Paris.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Northeast Texas, baby.
Texas is weird.
But no, I'm actually from Oakland, California, but I moved here in like 2001. So
Oh yeah, you're
been here ever
Texas now.
since. Oh yeah. Cali made, Texas raised, baby.
Yeah.
Oh, got a slogan.
All right, boys. Looks like we're kind of I don't know if we're at the end of the conversation, but in the chat, what do you guys? What's going on? What's cooking right now? What's is there anything going on in the arm wrestling world that you're interested in? Let us know. Shoot us a question so we can discuss all things. And be sure to check out all of our YouTube channels as well. Of course, I'm Uncle John from Uncle John's Arm Wrestling Show. We've got Jason Merlot. He's got a YouTube channel. Cobra Rhodes has a brand new YouTube channel that's just coming out. We're going to be putting a bunch of content on there. Roger, Aaron, or Julian, do you guys have YouTube channels at all?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I got
sir.
one too under my name.
There's not a lot on there. There's some like car stuff and a couple arm wrestling stuff. My arm break videos on there if you want to watch that. On there.
Oh,
Oh, thank you. Nope.
No, I'm good.
Cool.
I got a channel called Arm Wrestling Mania, and it's just going to be mostly me training and all my tournaments and stuff like that. Just my journey.
nice.
I'm actually going to start writing a book about my journey through the sport. Maybe I'm thinking about toying with like an idea. It's called The Road to the Road to Greatness. Or basically, it's going to be like a whole life memoir from a
Nice.
kid going through drinking and going to prison, being bipolar, breaking my arm, a tell-all, how to come from it and still reach greatness.
Nice. Very cool.
Yeah.
Don't tell it all, bro. Wait
Tell
for
it
the
all. I
sequel.
don't care.
Don't tell it all. Wait for the sequel. You need the sequel.
The sequel.
We do have Ms. El Jador in the chat. Ms. El Jador, you should check out Ms. El Jador as
Ms.
well.
El.
He's got a good YouTube channel going on too. The dude I don't know. He's so strong that it just makes me want to stop sometimes.
It's scary. It's
Yeah.
scary.
I'm like, all right, I'm going to help this guy train for arm wrestling. And he's like, boom, stronger than me in every single lift conceivable. So for him, I'm just excited to finally be able to grip up with him. He lives in Newfoundland and I'm in Nova Scotia. So we're very close, but it's still a plane ride, right? It's an island out there. So hopefully once restrictions come in, I can start actually gripping up with him so he can, we can start working those angles because this dude is going to wreck some house.
He's gonna be like Khaled.
He could, yeah, very well, very well. He does insane lifts like that. And if we can just boom, laser focus that power into where it needs to go in the correct angles and figure out where those angles are for him, Yeah, it's going to be a problem.
Why
I'm gonna
doesn't
be
he come
able to-
on? Why
What does
doesn't
he
he come
weigh?
on? He's always in the
What's his
chat.
body weight?
He should have came on.
Mazel should come on. Mazel should be
Yeah.
on. If he wants to come on, feel free. Always
What does he
welcome. The
weigh?
door is
I'm gonna
always
give a
open.
slot away, guys. You guys have a great night. I will watch the chat a little bit and
Nice meeting you again, man.
do something
It
else.
was awesome meeting you, Cobra
Yeah,
Rhodes.
brothers. Yeah, everybody, listen. Just close your hand on dudes, and when the ref says go, what you just focus on pinning them, and the rest.
That's
is gonna
it?
be,
That's it.
the rest. You know, somebody's feelings gonna get hurt. Someone's wife's gonna
Somebody's
look
gonna
at
get
your
hurt.
wife funny about some shit. And there's always gonna be some the ref like, hey, listen, talk to Jason Merlo. Arm wrestlers like fishermen.
Yeah.
I almost
That's
Leave your
what we need
emotions
is,
at
oh
home.
my God, that motherfucker got off. Oh, so and so called a foul. I almost
we
had him
need
on the boat.
non-biased refs.
You know what I mean?
We
So
need non-biased referees.
You know what I'm saying, Jason?
I sent you a photo of my the rod that's on the table right now, Cobra, so you'll see the pattern.
Smash it. You got me? Cobra
Yeah.
Roads at Gmail.
Yeah.
Yep. All the
Dude.
best, everyone. Hey, I'll see you live tomorrow afternoon, Uncle John. 2
You got
weeks.
it, buddy.
Good night, Cobra.
All right.
All right.
Sweet dreams, everybody.
All right.
Peace.
Cobra Rhodes, ladies and gentlemen. We will be live, myself and Cobra, over on Uncle John's Arm Wrestling Show tomorrow at 12 noon Central Time. So come. I have no idea what we're going to talk about, but it's Cobra.
Cool shit. Bet ya.
Close your hand when the man says
Go.
go. Just focus
Pin him.
on pinning him.
Pin him.
Just
Just
whoop his
pin 'em.
ass.
Is there any easier way to put that across? I think not.
And he said feelings will be hurt. So
Yes.
forewarned. Feelings
Will be hurt.
It's hard to
Duly
avoid.
noted, Jason. Duly noted.
Hey, Roger, when are you going to be in Texas? Like, when are you coming down?
The 26th.
26th? Yeah. All right. So what is that, a Friday?
Yeah, it's Friday night.
Yeah. So are they having early weigh-ins on Friday or is it Saturday?
I am not sure. I'm going to be hooking up with Travis probably that night or the next day, and probably Saturday.
Yeah, because Waxahachie is only like an hour 45 for me, so I'm gonna be making that trip all weekend. So
Awesome, bro.
I can't
Yeah,
wait for this tournament to be done because I'm Wasahachi. I mean, what it's such a name and it keeps getting repeated so much.
And most of the time, people are mispronouncing it. It's terrible.
We do have another super chat. We have another super chat from ARMTV. $9.99. We got another super chat from ARMTV, $9.99. It says, sending a raffle stomping super chat to all the piece of jerks on New Year's who said Derek would never go to Dubai. Gary is dancing all over him. There was a lot of people. Gary and I took a lot of flack. Like Gary, like I was there for like 17 hours. Gary did the full 20, more than 24. And a lot of people were saying, this is a scam. Derek's never going to go. They're stealing your money.
I thought it was just Chris Gobby saying that.
Well, that's possible too, as is tradition.
He's a hateful guy, isn't he?
Well, you know, he does what he does.
He's been
short man complex.
Somebody's always mad at somebody.
Yeah, he's got that Napoleon complex.
Speaking of complexes, the arm wrestling opinion. They say, I like how this chat has a life of its own. Uncle John is too big for us now. He only listens to the super chats.
Oh, boy.
Ooh. I don't know if I can answer that arm wrestling opinion. Try super chatting it, and I might talk to you about it.
Have more super chats than people. I do. I spend like $50 a chat, dude, every night when I chat, don't I? Yeah.
Aaron's a champ. Aaron's a champ. He's got it down. He's got it down. Look, we are. What is the question? If there are questions that I'm missing, feel free to bring them to my attention. I was just looking and I couldn't really see anything. Oh, John Stone says Uncle John is on the juice. It does look like I'm on the juice. It does look like I'm on the juice.
It's called the OJ program.
It's called I've been fat my entire life.
OJ the Juice Man.
I'm not obese.
Juice Man.
Yeah.
That's your new nickname.
And that's what happened.
Juice Man.
Yeah.
Here comes the Juice Man.
I've always been jealous of like heavier setter guys that get into shape because they can pack on muscle so much easy. And I've been skinny my whole life. So like every bit of muscle I got is all the hours and hours and hours and days and days and years and years and years of living in the gym. But you know, I'll get there. I have been up to 207.
What are you?
But it was
What are you?
it was all
6'1"?
no, I'm 6'3".
Oh shit, at what?
6'3"?
205 maybe the most.
No, 207 at the end of 2019, but it was all dad bod.
But I bet
sitting on the couch drinking beer.
A killer long forearm and a big ass hand, which is better than weight.
Yeah.
There it is, right there. See?
Oh yeah,
dude, he's like a young Kevin Bongard,
bro.
Hey,
you know what I mean?
he's
you
trying
know
to be Gary
that's
Roberts
crazy
right now. I don't think we're gonna call him anything yet.
Well, no. The only
about
reason
being big is where it's at, right? Dude, he has the reach. He's got the long forearm, dude. Kevin Bongard was 6'1", barely 198, dude.
Well,
He was a 6-time world champion. Bad. That's who got me in the sport.
All right, we got another
another
question. We got another question. Travis Tuggle wants to know, did you guys see Mosier versus Jerome Loud in the overall match? Yes, Travis, we did talk about that briefly at the beginning of the show. Jerome Loud is ridiculous. He's a massively strong dude. Now, what I heard is that he is like, I don't know what he does in his real life, but apparently he like doesn't even really concentrate on arm wrestling all that much. And he's just one of those dudes who's just
we had a guy like that at our practice the other day.
Oh yeah,
first time ever on the table.
And he was stronger than you?
No. He was stronger than some of our best guys, like a guy named Matt
so
Pyle.
when you practice, when you say your best guys, what's your best guy's name?
One of them is named probably our. I mean, I hate to be like, you know, judgy like that.
Are they okay? So is your best guy?
But it's
an amateur.
Matt Pyle. No. His name's Matt Pyle. He's been arm wrestling for a long time. He's really good. He's really fast. He's really good. He been at a lot of the tournaments that I was at. He was at the first Waxahachie seminar. He was at Kima and by Houston. There's a lot of video on him. He's good.
Right.
We got.
Here we go. We're switching gears. We're switching gears right now. I'm admitting in the one and only Greg Gray.
Oh, we got
to get some audio connected.
Dude,
Greg, everybody else gonna be quiet. I'm gonna talk to Greg Gray. I gotta unmute yourself there, Greg.
I'm about to mute my shit.
Greg Gray, ladies and gentlemen, star and champion of the first edition of ARMPR. How are you, Greg?
You see it through the shirt?
Oh, it's beautiful. It's
Why
beautiful.
You have a shirt on, bro?
Yeah, I know. I should take it off. I'm trying to see. I can't hear you guys. I've never done a Zoom.
Can you just turn your volume up a little bit if you can't hear us?
Well, yeah, I just got to. Sorry.
Maybe the top right of your keyboard, there might be a little thing.
Use the mouse on the.
Oh wait, hold on, down here. Wait, I got it.
Check 1, 2.
There we go.
Is that better?
Good.
Nice. So Greg Gray, we were talking about you a little bit earlier with your match versus this Matt Craig guy, and I've only picked up little bits and pieces of this story. And I know there's been some jibber jabber, and you got some money in escrow. But I thought the match was going to be this past weekend, but it's still coming up here sometime in the future, right?
Yeah, I mean, I keep getting confused too. I mean, I knew it wasn't in Waxahachie, but those dates were like so close to when we're having it. I guess we're having it May 1st, when in Waxahachie, April 27th or something.
March 27th.
March, yeah. So, yeah. Travis wanted me to come up to that one. I don't know if I'll make it or not. I mean, if I do, I'm not going to compete. I might just stop in and say hi.
Nice. So what's the deal with you and Matt Craig? Is there real beef going on here, or?
Yeah, again, I mean, I don't want to go into like specifics, but yeah, there's a beef, and it's gonna be resolved. It's going to be
Personally,
resolved.
Personally, I cannot wait for this match, and I will be there in person. I cannot wait.
So have you guys pulled before?
Yes, we have. But we've never pulled at the same. The last time we pulled right-handed was about 3 years ago. At a Travis Badgett tournament. I was 171 pounds. He was 209. I beat him left-handed, and I beat him right.
You beat him left-handed. He beat you right. Is that what you said?
No, I beat him right-handed and I beat him left-handed.
Oh, you beat them both. Okay.
Oh.
Then we've pulled only left-handed since. He beat me 2018. He beat me once left-handed at a tournament where I pulled 2 weight classes. And then he beat me left-handed after I snapped my tendon. I competed in quarter wars. I competed in 3 classes. I won right-handed in my.
We're just having some trouble hearing you with your microphone. It's kind of cutting in and out a little bit. I don't know if it's an issue. Do you have Zoom on your phone at all? Sometimes it works better if you use your phone sometimes.
You want me to put my headphones in?
Sure, that might help.
All right, I'll be right back.
So we got that going on. We did have a question, Justin Kearns. How do we get arm wrestling in the Olympics? Maybe you missed it, Justin. You don't.
Yeah,
I don't at this point.
Yeah, it's not ever going to happen.
You know, it would require
like,
the same amount of money and a lot of backing that has been attempted for the last 50 years, minimally. And I think at this point, it's just this horse that keeps getting beaten and beaten and beaten. And guys who have been in the sport for longer than 5 years, you can see the cycles. And every year to 2 years, it comes up and people get all wound up about it again. And it's always kind of the same result. So, of course, we would all love to see arm wrestling in the Olympics, but no one has been able to put together the package that's really anywhere close to doing what it needs.
There was an article way back in the day in some kind of like sports magazine why it wasn't in the Olympics or why it wouldn't happen. It's because the Olympic Committee believed there was too many sanctioned bodies with too many different rules. There was no one governing body that would be that the Olympic could approve. And that was like back in I think it was 98 or 96. That was their issue back then when I heard about it. Because I mean, it would have been it'd be awesome, but I mean, do we need like Cobra? Do we need it? No. I mean, would it be cool? Sure, but as far as what makes our sport great is the device, the locations, the people. I mean, it doesn't have to be the Olympics to be the great thing that it already is.
What? Are we talking about the Olympics?
Like I keep saying,
it keeps getting brought up.
What's up, Gary? Like I keep saying, the only way to even attempt to talk about getting it to the Olympics, which MMA has been legitimized and has an athletic commission backing it, is not even, and probably will never go to the Olympics. So what arm wrestling would have to do is get an athletic commission involved and all that. And then, like you said, there's too many rules and there's you know what I'm saying? So just as what needs to happen is just a big league like Wall was, needs to just, that's all that needs to happen, is just one big league needs to happen. And there's 2 people that come to mind for a Dana White to me, and that's because one of them is all about money and the other one's just really smart, and that's Ryan Bowen and Travis Badgett. Those, they're just, if you get them, if they can link up and maybe get together, maybe we could have a Dana White and make it happen to where arm wrestling gets on a bigger scale. But until then, I'm enjoying where it's at.
I think Jeff Frank has the love for the sport to push it further.
Yeah, I agree.
I like it.
I do not care about the Olympics. I cannot believe we're still talking about the Olympics.
We're not talking about the Olympics the whole time.
Yeah, I mean that. Yeah, it is.
No. Listen, I know you weren't talking about it, but the thought that I miss an ounce of sleep. I wake up in the morning. If I look at what's going on in the sport of arm wrestling right now, I'm like, we don't need the Olympics. There is so
Right.
much potential to what's going on. Like,
It's called Gary Roberts.
would it? I mean,
The
don't get
future.
don't get me wrong.
It is true.
Would it be cool to turn on the Olympics and see arm wrestling be a part? Yeah, sure, it'd be cool. But let me tell you, we can have fun without ever getting there. We
Right.
can do some
Yep.
cool
Agreed.
shit.
Agreed.
So I'm not losing any sleep over it.
Nope.
But you know, regarding what you were saying, like the Dana White thing. I mean, Travis, I'm impressed with. Okay,
He's about his paper, man, and that's what Dana White's about, and that's what it is about.
like I was talking to somebody and they were like, I was like, man, he really. So the Travis that I knew then I checked up with a few years later, then I talked to a few years ago, and now it's like, dude, that guy like never stops hustling. I'm impressed. I see Greg Gray. I was about to talk to Greg in a second. I know Greg Gray. I got video of my man from 2004 West Coast Pro-Am.
Oh shit.
Yeah. I knew Greg Gray when he was 121 pounds.
And he probably wasn't great.
132.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyways,
Great.
you know, Travis, like the guy hustles, and you know, he calls, like, I can't keep up with all the shit he's getting going on with events. Like, if I said, Travis, I want to be involved at every single event that you were doing, I think I would like have an anxiety attack. Like, I can't keep up with all the different little. So yes, impressive. He could do it. Ryan Bowen, the guy knows his business. I mean, that's impressive what he's done.
Well, look,
his biggest like holdback is the fact that he has to live on the other side of the planet. Oh my God, if that guy was stateside, Jesus.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Well, like,
So
it didn't just take Dana White. It was Dana White and the Fertitta brothers. So
yeah,
it's gonna take more than just one person. But those are the two people, and I guess Jeff Frank too. I mean, there's your Sean Shelby, matchmaker right there. I mean, there you go. You know, make a league, guys.
I mean,
I think Uncle John should make a league.
No, I'm the talent, brother. I'm not the promoter.
You're just the pretty face, right?
Yeah, I'm not putting any of my money up. I will be paid money to do what I do.
No, he's the Joe Rogan of arm wrestling.
There you go.
You didn't know?
You
didn't know?
There you go.
I mean, it really takes someone who really knows about marketing. It doesn't have to be arm wrestling, and that's the problem. Most people promoting arm wrestlers who try to.
Greg Gray, your audio's a little.
Greg, we gotta get you on the phone, Greg.
All right. A little wonky. Eric Crescent says, I think many pullers are annoyed by the fact that many people still don't view arm wrestling as a real sport. Olympics would provide this legitimacy.
They're just not educated.
MMA is not.
Once they hear
MMA
it,
is not.
they're like, what? It's a real thing. They're like, oh yeah, dude, it's all over the world, and they're actually really intrigued. I mean, I guys that work are all in.
I get the same reactions.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they just didn't realize they've heard about it. They've done it when they were kids, and they didn't realize it was what it is.
But the question is, will the Olympics bring the legitimacy?
No, it'll just bring politics.
Well, I don't know if people will people care. You know, will it be enough eyes? Will people care enough about it?
I don't think.
I don't know.
There'd have to be something bigger before that would lead up to the Olympics, like some big league, and then it went to Olympics to get the public educated about what they're watching. Because that's the biggest problem with arm wrestling, and the big things is people watch these two guys in the middle of the table and they're like not really moving. They're like, well, what's going on? I don't understand. I don't understand the pressure being applied. I don't understand the moves. They don't understand. So it's not a really great spectator sport for the uneducated public.
Well, I think all this is, Eric does have a good point that all of this, a lot of it is driven by people's dissatisfaction and their anxieties about the fact that the sport we love the sport that I put 15 hours a day into every single day of my life is literally unknown. Like real reality is nobody knows that we are doing any of this stuff. Really.
You're right.
It is.
But
I had to search on Facebook.
We know.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter when it comes to bumping the sport up, right? Of course, we know, I'm doing this every day. I love this sport more than most things that exist on this planet. But that question of bursting into something else is just one that's been regurgitated and redone and reboiled and rehashed, and hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars have been put into it over the years. And we still just don't really seem to get over that hump. So, maybe the Olympics would do it. Maybe it would.
I think a big league would do it that has several different
Dude,
styles,
we have like 8 big leagues.
But they only
WAL tries to do it. WAL would love to try to do it, but they ain't gonna do it. It's just not enough.
Because they're not all together. They're not all together. That's the biggest problem. They're not.
It's like, this is the discussion we're having now is the same discussion that's been happening for the last 30 years. And think about it like this. In the United States, they can't even agree on having one nationals.
Right.
We can't get individual nations together, let alone the whole world for an Olympics. Like, we are so far away from that. Like, and I hate to be like a
we need someone to get on board and just do a whole, just over the top, take it to there.
Okay, I gotta chime in. I gotta chime in here. So,
all right, Gary, what's up?
So when I came into the sport, 2003, everyone was talking about the over the top days.
Mm-hmm.
And then, they're throwing out the Yukon Jackson. Everyone was educating me on the big stuff that had been injected into the sport. And then it was like right around the time I came in because of Dave Devoto, World Wrestling Championships. Dave Devoto, he was actually my first partner with ARMTV. Him and John Bergerson, they got inspired and they pumped money in. They got us on television. For a good couple years, we had a good TV run. And it was like, is this going to be different? This is going to be different. Then, ratings, I think we had some stuff on ESPN and it was like hot. We thought we were going to make it. Then Pulling John was going at that time. We thought that was going to make it. Pop, pop, pop. Meanwhile, on the other side of the ocean, you got Igor doing his thing. And, the World Championships and then the smaller promoters all doing their thing. Then we got the Game of Arms. I had 60 grand. I thought I could make a difference. I had 3 big tournaments. It's like I've had this conversation, this exact one. I feel like nothing ever changed. Then we had it with the Game of Arms. Then we had it with Wall. And it's like, what is the difference? What is happening? Like, why
what's different
isn't
now?
it working? And I know why it's not. I know why it's not working. I know that absolutely why it's not working.
I want to know from Greg Gray.
Yeah, Gary, you talk way too much, dude.
I'm sorry. Well, I could tell you. You talk, then I tell you why it's not working. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, no, I said what's different now is YouTube, social media. I mean, we can, or you guys, not me, can make money from views that never happened before. So you can have a guy that can sponsor a couple of matches and make money on the backside.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes, it is different. And it is the reason why we could make it, why the grassroots can make it. The big money, they need too much money. Like Wall, I don't know the details, but I know that what their return has to be for what they've invested, it has to be a number that's just not realistic.
Yeah, but it keeps coming in. It's residual, I mean, so if you have good guys and good matchups that people want to see, the money will come in, and investors will see that, you know.
Right, but I like to use the movie industry. Investors in movies, people who produce movies, they produce millions movies because they want blockbusters. They want the big bucks. They want the billion. They want the avatars. And they're like in the old days, if you made $100 million, you were like a home run. Now, if your movie makes $100 million, you're sad. You're a failure. And in arm wrestling, we just may never be a sport that's going to hit $1 billion. It can be big but small. Like for instance, my vision, what I wanted to do with ARMTV back in the day, at the max success I envisioned, I would post one $20,000 tournament a month somewhere in the world. I said if I could get 2,000 members paying $20 a month consistently, I would host a 20K tournament once a month for the rest of your lives. Like, that's the success I needed. 2,000 arm wrestlers, $20. It was a very simple formula, no more, no less. And we could have had 20K tournaments every month for eternity. Outside investors, they need more than that. If you talk to an outside investor and they're like, we need like I talked to Steve Kaplan, I want to sell 1 million t-shirts with Devin Laird's face on it. Like, will we ever get to the point where we can sell 1 million Devin Laird shirts? I don't know. I talked to my man, John Byerly. He was going to produce the Devin Laird bobblehead, and they needed an order of like 500. Pre-order 500 bobbleheads at like $70, and they couldn't get the pre-order. So I'm skeptical when people talk about that we could sell out 5,000 pay-per-views for Michael Todd and Levon when we couldn't sell out 500 orders bobbleheads for Devin Laird. I think outside investors would have to lower their expectations on what the sport can return, and we have to be happy with something like one $20,000 tournament in the United States once a month. That would be amazing. That would be better than Olympics. And all it takes is something small, like a successful channel, something like Alex and Schoolboy. If ARMTV gets to that kind of thing, that's what I'd like to do one day. So those are my goals. I'm not hoping for $1 million in t-shirt sales. I just want to have enough that where I can host cool tournaments, to get cool content, to feed the circle, so we could do it for all eternity. I don't need to be a big ass league. I don't need the Olympics. So that's my goals. Anyways, and like Greg Gray was saying, YouTube, social media is our path.
Well, here's the thing too. I mean, if you think about, when was the last time you actually rented a movie or went to a movie? I mean, some of you, I mean, like, I haven't rented a movie or been to a movie in years. What's that?
Probably 1.5, 2 years since I've been
right.
to theater.
And then how long ago did you binge on a Netflix show?
Every weekend.
There you go. So that's a paid or subscription that you have, and you watch as much as you can for, what is it, like $10 a month or something?
Yeah, $9.99.
Yeah. Nobody wants to pay the individual thing because they see it and they're like, nah, I'm not paying $2 for that. It's going to eventually come out for free on Netflix or Hulu or whatever. So trying to get people to pay $5 is just not going to happen. You're not going to find 5,000 guys. But if this is on, say, hey, it's going to be on Netflix, you see, you got to get the sponsors. The money comes from the sponsors. You got to stop taking money from arm wrestlers to do this stuff. When I said,
but that's where you're incorrect. If I would have brought you on,
that's where you think I'm incorrect.
No. Listen, man. If I was smarter and I was a better business person, and I said to the 2,000 arm wrestlers, I make you 20% owner of ARMTV. It costs you $20 to have a 20% ownership of something that could have tournaments for life, minimum 20K. And once you're at that level, then it needs, okay, arm wrestler needs someone like the Green Bay Packers, where the community owns the franchise. And then once you're strong and you have the franchise, then that it's the sad thing. Here's the
But it's
reality.
like what, Scott?
No, sponsors do not you got to be rich to get the sponsors. That's just the way it works. You look at the Academy Awards, all the rich people are the one giving the free shit. Like
Yeah.
once arm wrestling is big, then it would attract sponsors. Sponsors don't want to go on a channel that only has 80 people on it.
Right.
I mean, that's
the sponsors want the views. They want the people that are paying attention to a certain thing so they can get their product out there. You know, as far as, again, you know, getting arm wrestlers to come together and it's just not going to work. It's not sustainable. Arm wrestlers come and go, you know, most guys last 6 months. It just doesn't happen.
I don't care if you only last 6 months. When I launched my Patreon, so ARMTV, we had revenue stream for 10 straight years. When I launched my Patreon, it's going to be offering you to become a producer of all future content. And
I'll be down.
the only way for me to take my vision to the next level is YouTube ad revenue, plus the old way, the subscription model, where I get 10 to 20 bucks from you guys, but you get to become a producer and a part owner of the next stage.
But the thing is, like,
and all I need is
I'd pay $50.
I need 2,000 guys. I need 2,000 guys.
That's fine. I'm sure you will get it.
Well, I'm just saying, if Steve,
Gary,
listen,
please, just shut up and let me talk.
No, I want to.
God damn it.
I'm just
Why
saying.
Why am I on here? Why am I on here?
But just let me finish.
There's no point.
If Steve Jobs came to you, but when Apple was fucking still in the garage and he said, "You're my buddy, I need you to give me 20 bucks a month for fucking 10 shares a month in Apple," and then you could predict 40 years later that your shares were worth $400 million,
Sure.
you would think your $20 was well spent.
Yeah,
True.
but I guarantee you lots of people didn't do that because they didn't have the 20 bucks. I am an arm wrestler. I don't want to be a part of a community that's producing videos. I want to fucking arm wrestle. Most arm wrestlers are like that. Paul Lynn, he just wants to arm wrestle.
Yeah, well, that's why we don't
But
need you. We don't need you anymore. That's the great thing. Now we have fans. Now with YouTube, now we have fans. Now there can be 2,000. I get more messages from people who don't arm wrestle. So I don't need the arm wrestler. I don't need your money as an arm wrestler.
That's what I'm saying. Stop going for the arm wrestlers' money. Stop going. You're asking arm wrestlers for the money, and that's never worked. It's never worked.
What the fuck are you talking about? It has worked. I have $33,000. I have 33,000 matches of arm wrestling paid for me to fly around the world for 7 straight years by asking arm wrestlers for money. I did some awful cool shit by getting $10 to $12 to $20 from
wait, if it worked,
wrestling.
Why didn't it continue to work?
Because YouTube put me out of business.
Makes sense.
But I still amassed 7 to 10 years of content that I'm now putting out there that are getting views.
But now you're getting it from YouTube.
Dude, listen, look, Greg, no disrespect, but you're smoking crack. Netflix is getting content. Guess who they're getting 10 bucks a month from? You, who's watching Netflix.
I don't understand I don't understand your point. Are you drunk or something right now?
My point is that you, the arm wrestler, you, the viewer, you are no different than the guy watching Netflix and paying Netflix. It's no difference.
Yeah,
it's a subscription model.
I know,
it works.
But my point is that trying to get money from individual arm wrestlers is the old way of doing it, and it's not the way to get the hundreds of millions of views.
So please, Greg Gray, the next arm wrestling tournament you go to, please tell the promoter to stop asking you for an entry fee and see how many times you're able to arm wrestle without your 20 bucks. Money needs to transfer hands. It just has to happen.
Well,
I'm
that's
tired.
a
I'm
tournament
tired
is a
of.
different
I'm
thing.
tired. I'm tired. It's not a different thing. I'm tired
my
of people.
God.
I'm tired of
We're
people
here.
saying, "Do not ask arm
And
wrestlers
this
for
only
money."
weighing 220 pounds, Gary
If you
Roberts.
want your sport to, if you want your sport to advance, you better be willing to help pay for the advancement of said sport.
I
I'll pay-
want
I'll
to
pay 50
personally
bucks. I'll pay
advance.
$100. It don't matter.
I-
I love the sport. I'll pay into it.
I'm sure you'll have lots of people that pay into it. What I'm saying is, I just want to be a better arm wrestler. That's all I
you're-
focus on.
Fine. Fine.
doing
You
it.
don't have to be a producer. You can just come to the
Yeah.
event. You're still going to be charged.
Pay up, sucker.
I think at the end of the day, there's gonna be a mix, right? Because
There has to be.
myself, like I see both angles on this deal, right? For me, I am an arm wrestler.
Caroline, can
I'm-
you please not listen to the stream? Really, I don't like my wife in the chat. Please, can you?
No more F bombs, Gary. No more F bombs.
Wow.
Everybody
re-
relax.
The
Relax.
reason
We're not
reason
going to
it
figure it out.
listen
You're not
the
going to figure it out
the
tonight.
reason it triggered me is because all the years I built ARMTV, I heard that so many. Why are you trying to build something off arm wrestlers' money? It's like, give me a break. I was trying to do something pretty cool, and all it would cost you is 10 to 20 bucks.
No,
and let me
you
tell
did a
you,
great thing, Gary. You did a great thing, and it worked. But my point, wouldn't it be better to have? Now, the good thing about an entry fee at a tournament is it discourages people from just showing up and having 100 guys in a bracket when they shouldn't be there. So tournaments are fine. I have no problem with entry fees in tournaments, but really, like, a professional arm wrestler should get money from an outside sponsor that wants his name attached to a certain event or winner for something like my super match. I wanted a sponsor to get some recognition and pay for my winnings and get his name out there attached to the match. That's why every time I take a super match, I said it has to be sponsored.
and when our channel has 1 million subs and your face is going out to everywhere, your odds of getting a sponsor are going to go up.
I'm not getting a sponsor. The promoter is getting a sponsor.
No, you said I want a sponsor.
I want a sponsor for the match. I'm not saying I want a fucking sponsor. I say I want a sponsor for the match. I'm not looking for sponsors.
You're saying it's the promoter's job to get the sponsor, not you.
Yes, because he's a marketer. The promoter is supposed to be marketing.
Yeah, this is why I say I don't do super matches. I'm just going to host an event, and you can come or you cannot come. I won't deal with super matches.
I don't know why. You didn't explain why. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I've explained why this morning. I just don't like the stress of dealing with individuals. I want to put all the money towards an open event, not super matches where I got to have a complaining Greg Gray.
I don't know what I'm complaining about, but yeah, I mean, you look at everybody's talking about, Michael and Levon, or, what Ryan is doing is a great thing. He's getting sponsors to sponsor that match. And that is the way I believe it should be. It shouldn't be you guys getting entry fee money and then taking that and 100% of the entry fees go to the pro class. It should, why don't everybody just bet $20 and the promoter gets nothing? Let's a bunch of guys put in $20 in a pot and the winner gets it all. It's the same thing. You're trying to take the sport to the next thing. You don't see UFC guys going out there and a tournament format and beating each other up with $20 in a pot and the winner gets it all.
I know, I'm sorry I've been short with you, but you said don't ask arm wrestlers for money. And I'm telling you right now, if tonight 1,000 of you out there listening were to sign a contract with me for 2 years, that you were going to invest $20 a month for 2 straight years, 1,000 people, I promise you within 24 months, I would guaranteed results, longevity results that would last a lifetime. I'm that assured of what I could do with your $20. So I get
But
offended.
you can't guarantee it. You
No,
can't
I
guarantee it.
no, I could guarantee.
No,
Goddamn,
you
to
can.
Yeah, I
You
can
say you
guarantee.
guarantee it.
I can guarantee it.
What backs it? What backs it up? What
do you
is
mean?
your
What
backing?
backs it? What are
If
you
you say you
smoking? I
Wait,
guarantee
if I buy
because
a product,
because I know what I did off five.
okay,
I know what
if
I did.
look,
I had listen.
oh, fuck me.
Sprinkle gun.
God,
Hey.
you don't fucking shut up.
Yeah.
Jesus
How
fucking
about
Christ.
this? Here's for a really nice
Hey,
side note.
listen, Greg Gray,
Sorry.
if you're going to come on my show and tell me don't ask arm wrestlers for money, I'm going to set your ass straight and I'm going to tell you what I did. I had 500 members that paid me an average of $12 a month. And what I was able to do for the sport, let me tell you, if I had double to triple to quadruple that, I can guarantee you what I could do for the sport now that I don't have to put content behind a paywall. So I know what I can guarantee, man. So don't question.
I believe you can guarantee it. I believe that you believe you can guarantee
No,
it.
no, I guarantee. I guarantee you what one event what I could host.
Okay.
I promise you.
But what is backing that guarantee?
What do you mean? What is backing that? Do the math. Do the math.
Hey Gary,
Okay,
I got a little story
Go
for
ahead.
you.
1,000 times 20. That's 20K a month. 20K a month guaranteed for 24 months. You don't think I could guarantee what I could do for the sport of arm wrestling with $20,000 prize purses, 24 of them every month? You don't think I could guarantee what I could do with that?
You can't guarantee it without something that is a recourse for it. You know, if I buy a product that's guaranteed, I buy a barbecue that's guaranteed to work. If it doesn't work, then I return the barbecue. So I'm saying, what is going to happen if you guarantee it? What do people get if it doesn't happen?
Dude,
never return the barbecue.
Hold on. You just backtracked. You said all you want to do is arm wrestle. And I just told you I'd give you 24 $20,000 tournaments every month.
Good night.
Bye, Jason.
Good night. I'm going to bed.
All right. I guess
He's got the king hat on.
Whatever.
That means who wears the crown gets the talk.
So, hey, I don't know what happened. Somebody came on and said, don't ask arm wrestlers for money. I get offended by that shit because I know what I'm doing with the money is I'm putting it right back into the sport for you.
Gary, I got a little something to say to you.
What?
It's an old story. Back when you were doing ARMTV, this is really cool. You came to Idaho to a Bad at the Bone tournament.
Yeah.
And you gave me my very first interview.
What year?
08, I believe it was, or 07. But what I'm trying to get at is, I believe Gary, what he does, because he's done it before and anybody cared that he did it. You know, he does it because he loves the sport and what we all strive to be is a better sport, better for everybody. Who cares about, a pissing match on who's right or wrong?
I don't think the argument is about who cares more about arm wrestling. I think it's just two opposing viewpoints on how to help push the sport forward, right?
Well, yeah, but I mean that's all I'm saying. And I think Gary
can do it. I mean, I would say that.
Can I say
this? Let me say this. Can I say this real quick? Gary, I think you can do it too. You've done stuff in the past that's great. I think you can do it. I'm not saying you can't.
Well, you said
I'm just saying when I hear the word guarantee, there's usually something that I get in return if it doesn't happen. So when you say you guarantee it, you cannot guarantee something that's an unknown. There's an unknown force. Let's say, God forbid, you get hit by a train on the way to that. My point is you cannot guarantee it.
Whatever.
See, I made my point, and you're
I can guarantee you 24 20K tournaments, and
as long as you are alive.
It's like the Stu plays.
Unless you have it in the fund or something.
Okay, can I just say another thing? When Don Fritchie gave me $20,000, he put no stipulations in that. I didn't pay myself. I didn't use any of that $20,000 to run the tournament. I put 100% of the prize of the sponsorship into prize money. I didn't have to do that. I could have done what Travis says, and I could have slipped $5 grand into my pocket. 10 grand. I could have said it cost $5 to $7 grand to run the event. I didn't do that. I put 100% of the sponsorship money for 3 years back to the arm wrestlers. I gave it to the arm wrestlers. So when I say I can guarantee you something, that's what I'm talking about. I can guarantee if I have 20K in my hand and I'm going to host a tournament and the prize money is going to go back to you, the arm wrestlers. That's the guarantee I'm talking about.
No, it's you believe it. It's not.
Well, I did it. I know what
No,
I've
you
done.
did it in the past. That's great. You absolutely have proven that you can do it.
All right. I don't know why everyone's so pissed off. Like,
I'm not pissed at all. What I'm saying is it would be great to get more money from outside sources and not focus on arm wrestlers, to get it from other entities like the Yukon Jack, where the a alcohol guy gave us money or whatever. That's my point.
Follow me. And your point has not worked for 50 years. Follow me here. You keep doing what you're doing and you get a beer sponsor to sponsor you for 6 events. And then they realize they didn't get the money they wanted or the exposure they wanted and they quit. And you have to redo it every 3 years for the next 100 years.
Right. It's not.
Or you give Gary Roberts 1,000 people $20 a month for 2 straight years, and you lock in the most solid base foundational of goddamn concrete arm wrestling that every sponsor wants a part of that shit, and then you last for a goddamn lifetime. That's the difference I'm talking about.
That you're right, Gary. I hope you are.
Yeah, and I swear to God, I'm putting it down on my calendar that I'm proving, just like the people said I wasn't going to send Derek Smith to Dubai. I'm just more fired up to prove all of you people wrong who doubt.
Sign me up, Gary. I'll send it right now.
But what I hope is that the money comes from not just arm wrestlers. I hope it comes from money.
That's what I just told you.
All kinds of people that want to see
but that's what I
people
just
that want to
told
see it.
I just told you I get more
So
messages.
do we call you King John now?
I get more messages from non-arm wrestlers now. So
well, then you're agreeing with me that the money should come from non-arm wrestlers.
Oh, well, I gotta get me a hat now.
Well, now I didn't ask the arm. It's whoever's watching.
Exactly. Instead of focusing on getting arm wrestlers to focus on other people wanting to see this stuff that want to pay for it.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Yeah. We are actually in agreement, Gary. Whether you believe it or not, we agree on this.
Okay.
Well, next time, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back with more rousing entertainment from Greg and Gary.
You guys, you should be boxing Gary without freaking born. I'm kidding. I totally agree.
Don't
with
open
Gary
up that.
Sport. I think he can do it. I mean, the $20 I would gladly. I'd hand over $50 a month for that shit. No problem.
Here's what I'm gonna do. Here's what I'm gonna personally do. I'm launching my Patreon. 100% of the Patreon is going to prize money. 100% of it. I'm gonna announce how much prize money we have, and it's going back to the arm wrestler. Who's a Patreon? It can maybe be an arm wrestler or it can maybe be a fan. I don't care. It don't matter. As my Patreon grows, more prize money is going to be given away. That's exactly what I'm going to do. So
I like it. And I like the crowd.
Okay, guys, let's go. I got in trouble for swearing and being too loud.
Gary's been a bad man.
All right, everybody. Well, thanks for being here. For tonight, it was a good conversation. There was wildness to end the night, but thank you all so much for your participation and your super chats. And of course, we'll be back here on next Tuesday to have a whole other conversation. Before anybody else interrupts me, let me just finish off. All right, sorry, I'm gonna have to mute you, buddy. My name is Uncle John. I'm from Uncle John's Arm Wrestling Show. I will be live with Cobra Rhodes tomorrow at 2 p.m. Atlantic, That is 12 p.m. Central. Come and check us out. Uncle John and Cobra live.
And Greg,
Yeah.
got short with you, but don't mean to take anything away from all the hard work you've done, and you're looking awesome, and congratulations on your success that you've accomplished as an arm wrestler.
He's ripped like
Gary, you're passionate about it, and that's a great thing.
All right,
that's
man.
what the sport needs.
Thank you. Julian,
six pack like a god.
I'm coming for you.
Hey, so we're gonna do.
You just cut out. Yeah, we'll arm wrestle. We got it. All right.
All right. You better.
Bye, guys.
Come with it.
Thanks, everybody.
Come with it.
All right, I'm out of here.
See you, Gary.
Bye-bye. Uncle John, did you make me host again?
Let's see. I have now. There you go.
Thank you very much. Dude, did I just wreck that? I don't know what happened, man.
No, we spiked. Are we out? Are we out now?
No, we're still live.
Oh, we're still live. All right. So I think we spiked the views. Ms. L said we spiked the views when you got all saucy with everybody. So that's good.
You know, he just triggered me by saying, quit asking money for arm wrestlers. When I say arm, I'm just talking about anybody who's watching. Like when I say super chat Uncle John, I'm not like, okay, only a non-arm wrestler super chat Uncle John, because we have a philosophy here where we don't want to take money from arm wrestlers. At this point, the stage of the size that arm wrestling is, I can't separate out the arm wrestler to the fan. It's just like you're one group, you're the audience. You know, super chat Uncle John. It all goes to him tonight. Like,
so here's my perspective. Having a background in psychology and sociology, I believe you guys were having conversations that were slightly misaligned. So you're saying we need the arm wrestler to get us to the point where we don't need the arm wrestler.
Essentially.
Greg Gray is just saying, well, just stop taking money from the arm wrestler. And I think he's probably, if you just proposed it the right way or in the right words, he would agree. Okay, yes, there will be arm wrestlers, because arm wrestlers are almost like, how much do they make up of the viewership? Like 70% at this point, do you think?
Yeah, it's really hard to tell. We don't have any algorithm or matrix to.
So it's hard to know. But we will need the arm wrestlers for, you know, obviously I'm an arm wrestler, but I'm obviously going to be on your Patreon, right? I'm going to do that because that's what I want to do. Now, if we have half of the arm wrestlers that are willing to do that, and then we get, you know, just as many casual fans or viewers, then that would be great. Is it possible? Is it feasible? We'll see. I hope it is. I think it would be a great thing.
I guess I heard that message and it triggered me. Like back in the day on the message board, I used to hear like, oh, you're just trying to profit off the arm wrestlers.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, it just like hits me in a certain, the minute he said that, it like got me in the, it was like.
The dog came out.
Like,
It upset you to the point where your wife had to tell you to calm down.
Yeah. Because, I mean, I got to be honest, no disrespect to Greg Gray, but he don't know what the F he's talking about, okay? Here's the facts. I've been doing this for 8 months on YouTube. If I compare the first 8 months of ARMTV on membership, asking money from arm wrestlers, my revenue was like quadruple what I've made from YouTube. YouTube is a successful model when you have 100 times the numbers.
Right.
But we are not there yet. Not everyone is Schoolboy or Larry Wheels. You know what I mean? And it's like, I used to say, hey man, I'm gonna go on a diatribe. I'm gonna get angry. I'm gonna get angry. Because it frustrates me, man. It frustrates me.
Yeah, I understand it. Well, you were living it for so long, right? And you're trying to do good things. And I want to make it very clear that I'm 100% on board that Gary Roberts is trying to do good things and the best things for arm wrestling. Now, you may not agree with the way Gary Roberts wants to do that, but it's just a difference in opinion about the way we need to travel to the ultimate destination.
that's not the part. I'm not frustrated about that. I'm frustrated about the 101 basics that people don't understand. And
So give
so
me a
I'm
couple
gonna,
examples of that.
okay. Traditional television. Traditional television, for some reason, in everyone's world, it's held up as like, can do no wrong. When Netflix first came out, they were streaming other people's content. And there's a bellwether inside me that knows when shit happens, that like can tell when shit happens. I sometimes just know shit. And there was a day, I know the exact date. I have to look it up. The date Disney told Netflix, the very date, listen, arm wrestlers, and pay a effing attention. The very date Disney told Netflix they were not going to renew the contract that allowed Netflix to stream Disney movies, Netflix overnight said, oh shit, we have to start producing our own content.
Yeah.
The day that happened, I said to everyone I knew, I said, oh, Disney just effed it up. They just effed it up because right now they can push Netflix around. But I tell you, Netflix is the future and Netflix will become the dominant force. And they are using an old subscription model. HBO has been doing it for years, charging people money for content, no advertisement. And I said, I predicted then that they would change the world. And they did. They completely have changed the world. They dominate the award cycle. They are crushing it, all based off the membership subscription model. The people who come to me and tell me that ARMTV did not work and you were charging arm wrestlers, let me tell you, it worked. I made really good money, and you shouldn't poo-poo the concept because it does work. That subscription stuff, YouTube, because ad revenue is like, they're like literally, I mean, I don't want to use the word raping, but they are taking advantage of the content providers.
Sure.
So they had to add the super chats. They've had to add other business models like Patreon because people don't make enough money as content producers. So it comes down to asking people for money.
Right. Well,
if you look at Schoolboy's channel, Alex's channel, people join a membership and they subscribe. They give them money. Some of them are arm wrestlers that give them money, even though they are making great ad revenue. Somebody still gives them money. So when Greg Gray comes on and tells me that that's offensive and it's all about finding the sponsor, you know, until arm wrestling gets huge, finding sponsors is still difficult. And getting somebody to super chat or join a Patreon to support somebody who's passionate and trying to do this for a living like yourself, until we get huge and sponsors start knocking on our door, it kind of is a thing that exists. So don't call us up and say, how dare you try to make money off the arm wrestler? It's offensive. You have no idea how hard these people are working. You don't know how long it takes. Your videos that you put together, that video where you did the 2,000 curls, I don't even want to know how many hours you edited that thing. But that's not, I mean, you're basically editing that for free because your YouTube ad revenue is not paid. You would have made 3 times as much working at Starbucks, making an espresso. So I don't want people coming on the...
Look, here's the counter argument. When people come at you with that, you have to phrase it like this. So look at Disney. Disney sells movies. So you are selling arm wrestling. So let's relate. You are Disney. You are selling arm wrestling. Disney selling movies. Saying that arm wrestlers shouldn't pay for arm wrestling content is the same as saying movie lovers should not pay for movie content, right? So that's the counter argument to that. But I think the bigger picture here, Caroline Kaufman put it very well. it doesn't have to be either or. You can get sponsors and participation fees. And I think that's what you're talking about, is for a period of time, it will be a transition where both things are happening. Of course, at the end of the day, we want it to be all sponsors, but we're just not there yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, it just kind of rubbed me the wrong way that Greg was like, I'm just an arm wrestler. I just want to arm wrestle. And it's the promoter's job to find me money. It's like, you know how hard that is? That's kind of rude. Like, how about you help the promoter find you money? Like, I mean, I don't know. I just took that as a little like,
yeah. Well, I mean, you would think, I think it would work better if it was a joint venture, right? If the promoter is able to do something and the arm wrestlers are able to do something at this point in time. Yeah. It's going to be great where we can have promoters that have so much power because there's so much interest in arm wrestling, where we can just get Pepsi or Coke to be like, okay, there's a small tournament here. We're gonna do this, that, and the other thing. That's great. But we're not there yet. We're
Caroline Kaufman says Gary can give 100% of Patreon to arm wrestlers thanks to me. Yes, it is thanks to you, honey. I really don't like you watching the show though. It's weird. Eric Rusen, the reality is that we just don't have much to offer sponsors right now. There may be more opportunities with social media, but Polar shouldn't think that's easy to find cash sponsors. Yeah, man. Like, someone called me the other day and they're like, hey, I think we could get some money from the sponsor, and they want to know what kind of views they're going to get. And I'm like, man, I'm not in a position to promise you any sort of views for a sponsor. Like, you got to know if you're coming in as a sponsor at this stage that you're investing in the future. Like, it's, you know, unless it's Devin Laird and John Brzezinski in the videos, they don't get as much play. So it's like,
yeah, man, it's a funky game. And a lot of times people don't understand. Like, you know, people will make comments about how easy it is, or that social media is bogus, or whatever. And they have no idea the amount of work that goes into it, right? Like, after a year and a half, I'm finally starting to climb out of a $6,000 hole that I had to put myself in just to be able to produce the content that I'm doing now, right? And that's my choice. I totally get that. I'm totally fine with it. But don't, you know, tell me that it's nonsense or that it doesn't take abilities. This is the other thing that pisses me off, is people who think that just because you win matches or you're a good arm wrestler, you should get a direct flight to the top of arm wrestling. That's a bunch of bullshit. If you can't speak, if you can't be interesting, if you can't promote yourself and make your own content, then you're not going to be able to compete. I'm way ahead of guys who are way stronger than me because I'm wearing a stupid fucking crown at 12:15 in the morning talking about arm wrestling with Gary Roberts, and I couldn't be happier about it.
Well, thank you for hosting the show tonight. My wife is still in the chat, and I don't know what to think about that.
Well, she's being supportive.
What are you doing? Are you watching?
Yeah.
Like, our kids sleeping? Don't be watching arm wrestling.
You're in here and you're yelling your brains out. She's like, what is happening with my husband right now?
Anyways, I just get really annoyed because Don Fritchie is a perfect example. So I was traveling around the world taking arm wrestlers' money. It worked out. Some people signed up by the month. Some people signed up by the year. The average was $12.21 a month and change.
Mm-hmm.
So I was traveling around the world filming arm wrestling off the arm wrestlers' dime. They were funding my job. But Don Fritchie saw it and said, boy, this guy's working hard. I believe in his dream. I'm going to give him $60,000 to give away in prize money. Now, had I been sitting at home, no membership, no website, I just drove to a local tournament, filmed that, put it on YouTube. Is somebody going to give me 60K? No. They saw the big vision, but it relied on getting arm wrestlers to give me money.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, I'm over with my having the wife watch you. It really like changes. I was like, damn it. I got a little passionate there on Greg. It just, I don't know.
It's all right. You know, it is what it is. It's, you know, it's, there's a lot of different, there's really not a lot of different perspectives, really. There's like a couple different perspectives, and even those perspectives are fairly similar. It's just that arm wrestling, for whatever reason, people just latch on to these couple ideas and then they twist them, and not intentionally. It's just the way people think about it. And then it's really difficult to have a linear conversation about what we're trying to accomplish, because there are just these kind of subtle language differences that are going on, and we get confused, and then people get upset. And arm wrestling is just a sport that runs hot in general, right? Yeah. So then we transfer that, right? Like, I talked about my super chat. Phil Cardy is in the chat right now, and I'm just like, Phil, I don't want to talk to you right now, Phil, because I got to pull you and I got to hate you in a week. I don't hate Phil. Phil's a good guy, but I got to hate him in a week. So I don't want to pay attention to him right now, because that's, you know, getting in my way. It's getting in my way of doing what I got to do, you know?
Eric Rusen says finding sponsors is one thing. Finding cash sponsors is an entirely different beast. Yeah. So, you know, I'm on... oh my God. Speaking of, I don't know how to do this without offending somebody. Here's the thing. When you send me messages and you want to have this conversation, you're, let's say, 2 to 3 years new into the sport of arm wrestling, and you're fired up and you want to see the arm wrestling explode, and you're telling me all your ideas, and I'm like, I get it. Here's what I'm working on. But if you do this, you did it. Listen, I get it. I haven't tried every idea in the world, but man, I've had this conversation a lot.
Yeah.
I mean,
I hear you, man.
I've had this conversation a lot, and I appreciate your passion. If you want to, let's say, come on board as an apprentice and you want to work for free and you want to start doing the 3 to 4 ideas I just don't have time to do at the moment to help me blow up ARMTV and arm wrestling, come on board. The more people who want to work for free, the better. But, you know, at the moment, I really, really, really want to get out. Like, even when stuff starts going good with filming content and events that are in the present, it is very important to me, and it has less to do with actual money. It is very important to me to make sure that the ARMTV archive is shared with YouTube, that I go through all the footage, that it's upscaled and it's out there. That's a mission that I don't want to drop the ball on. So even though there's 50 more different things we could do over here in the present, I don't want to stop that dream. The last thing I want to do is come in with this big plan to share all the old content and get sidetracked with a bunch of stuff that like, for instance, Travis calls me up. Hey man, how come you haven't done the flyer for the ROTN? You're out there working on old video and it's not even my video. What the blah, 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 blah. And it's like, listen, when you called me and you wanted to date with the podcast, you knew I had a full-time job, old content. So now we've starting to do new stuff. And then I got people messaging me, well, there's even more you could do. And it's like, we have Kevin, our branding guy.
I hear you, man.
Uncle John hosting on Tuesdays. Like, hey, if I'm not doing enough, you're welcome to come on the staff. We pay real good super chats. Anyways,
that's the thing, and it's making our way. We do have a couple super chats. Nathan Moorhead says ARMTV tournament sounds awesome. Fans will take care of prize money easily. We also had one from Eric Rasin, $6.99, says, thanks for the show tonight, guys. Thank you both, Nathan and Eric. And Phil Cardy says, I thought we were tight. We are tight, Phil. Not on Tuesday. For about 15 minutes on Tuesday, we're not going to be tight. Yeah. Then we'll be tight again.
Will we be seeing content of that?
Yeah. So probably I'll still plan to come back and be on the show right after. So I'll talk about it. And then the Monday after, So like the second Monday in March, I'll have a full edit of both super matches.
All right. Well, I think I'm going to turn in for the night. Uncle John, I'm sure it's late for you, sir. Thank you for
I'm ready.
doing your thing as always.
Absolutely.
And,
pleasure to be here.
for you guys out there who've still hung in, please go support Uncle John by subscribing to his channel. And if you have not yet watched the Travis Page and Devin Laird stuff that I just posted tonight, please go watch it and please leave a comment. I'm really curious, like if Eric, you're the guy, you're the rankings guy. Is what happened there enough to change rankings, or would you say I need to see more? Like there was I don't know. I'm curious. Comment down below those videos. Tell me your thoughts. All right, Uncle John. Oh, wait, hold. Caroline Kaufman says you can't compare arm wrestling to Netflix and Disney. Those have mass appeal. You need to find a similar niche product activity to model after. The point was the Netflix subscription model was laughed at. Nobody thought that they would change the game. And Netflix has grown into such a powerhouse, and they are so cash rich that they have literally bullied television studios that have been kings for decades. They have bullied them around. There is no mistaking that. And it's all based on taking somebody's money via subscription model. It's 100% appropriate. All right, everyone.